Oh, hello. So, today we're doing a promo game, which has possibly got some story time. It's a visual novel RPG, tabletop RPG visual novel game. So I'm not sure whether this is going to be voiced and how much voice it's going to have, how many words it's going to have. But I recently got a code for this, and despite it having come out in May, I'd forgotten I'd requested one, so it was a bit of a surprise. I forget to cancel the requests, you see, if they don't go unanswered, and it's possible that the publisher decided they had some spare codes left and decided to allocate them. So I am very grateful for that. The publisher is indeed fellow traveller for this one, who were very kind also to give me a code for Beacon Pines. Also published several games that I've played recently, including Paradise Killer and No Longer Home. So this game came out on the 5th of May 2022, developed by Jump Over the Age. I don't believe that they released anything else on Xbox. This one is optimized for Cloud Touch, xCloud Touch controls, and also optimized for Series X. Apparently it's also on Game Pass. I must have missed that when it came out on Game Pass. And it's an ideal Xbox game. It is not your usual visual novel, as it has a completion estimate of 8 to 12 hours, which means that it's probably not. You can skip easily over all the text. So, but because it's on Game Pass, like 5,000 people have played it. Well, no, nearly 6,000 people have played it. And so it's called Citizen Sleeper. I believe it's like the first episode of a 3-episode thing, and the new episode is due out on the 27th of October from what I could see on the Twitters. So maybe that's why codes are being allocated. So this is episode Flux. Possibly. I'm not sure. It does say episode Flux, first of 3 new free DLC episodes for Citizen Sleeper, but then is this Citizen Sleeper with the DLC? So I'm not entirely sure. There are 27 achievements either which way. It does say the second DLC episode's planned for release in October, which seems to be on track, and then early 2023 for the last, then final one. So I'm going to go with this is possibly the first one, and it's just a weird phrasing. So yeah, this is episode 1 Flux, I believe. So it says, in episode Flux, pressures in the Helion system have brought the first ships of a refugee flotilla, words, to the Eye with a capital E. You will meet and help those that get on station before the quarantine locks them out. Interesting. So, this is the tagline I really like. Role-playing in the ruins of interplanetary capitalism. Now, if that is not a hook that gets you to go, this game sounds really freaking interesting, it's that. Because we all hate capitalism. Well, not all of us. The ones that benefit from capitalism do not hate capitalism, but, it's a bit shit. Apparently they also developed a game called In Other Waters, which I've not heard of. I may have to go seek out, possibly just on PC. Possibly also on itch.io. A couple of the games, when I was doing my new promo screens for the handful of codes that I've gotten recently, some of them started their life out on itch.io, so maybe on that. It may not. I may be completely getting him mixed up with something else. But anyway, Citizen Sleeper. From the developers of In Other Waters, and featuring the stunning character art of Guillaume Singeline? Jeez for butchering your name. Citizen Sleeper is a narrative RPG set on Erling's Eye, a ruined space station that is home to thousands of people trying to survive on the edges of an interstellar capitalist society. You are a sleeper, a digitized human consciousness in an artificial body, owned by a corporation that wants you back. Thrust amongst the unfamiliar and colourful inhabitants of the Eye, you need to build friendships, earn your keep, and navigate the factions of this strange metropolis if you hope to survive to see the next cycle. So interesting. I've got my counter. Look, I'm organised. 19 days. That's yes, fellow traveller. Right, okay. I need to possibly make my... It's very hard. I can't see the volume bar at the bottom because I've added in the extra life counter, which has noise. And now I have too many noise things, and they've made them fatter in the new OBS update. And they take up so much space I can't see the bottom. So I may need to alter my layout a little bit. But hopefully that... We may turn it up if there's voice, so we may alter it if there's music. So, inspired by tabletop role-playing games, Citizen Sleeper uses dice? My gosh. Dice? Clocks? Not dikes. That would be weird. I mean, that may be, but you know. And drives to create a player-led experience where you choose your path in a rich and responsive world. So each cycle you roll your dice and assign them to actions. So I'm not really a tabletop RPG type person. I've done some D&D, and always want to do more D&D, but you know, you've got to find a dungeon master for that sort of thing. So this might be a way to, you know, satisfy that urge. So with each action we choose what and who matters to you, shaping the lives of those around you and ultimately the future of the station. So clocks track the actions of yourself and the actions of others across the station, from becoming a local at the Overlook Bar to protecting a friend from Yetagan enforcers. They allow you to track your own progress and the influence you have on the world around you. And then you have drives and skills. So you follow drives and not quests, allowing you to pick and choose the characters and activities that matter to you. As you will shape your character's 5 skills: engineer, interface, endure, intuit, and engage, and unlock perks and bonuses that reflect and change how you choose to live in the world. So that sounds really cool. So it's not a visual novel per se, though the limited number of categories on TA have designated it as such. I don't know if there's been any... there has been some. There's been some discussion on what the genre. There's been a lot of discussion on genre. To which the genre team have, as usual, put, I'm sure, a great deal of discussion into. I feel this should have the RPG visual. It should be an RPG visual novel. I don't know what those there's those dungeon Hannibal and Heliki. There's those Dungeons and Dragons. What are they? Papers, tabletop, something or other. Knights of Pen and Paper. That's D&D. Those get role-playing, turn-based, and card and board, whereas something like this gets a visual novel. I don't always understand the manifestations of the genre team, I have to say. I will put in my own 2 cents after I played this. Because, you know me, I love to have arguments with the genre team. So, there we go. I've done the reading part, and now we'll get on to the reading part. I don't know how much reading there is going to be. But yes, I remember there was that superhero one that Jessie and I played that we were expecting to have at least some visual novel aspects, and was actually just a management sim. So, yeah. We will see what goes on. So yeah, Citizen Sleeper, thank you very much to, I believe it would have been Fellow Traveller, but definitely the publisher. So the publisher, Fellow Traveller. I'm assuming those are the people in control of the keys, is what I was trying to say. But anyway, thank you for the key to stream this game. I appreciate it. So yes, episode Flux is the first of 3 episodic updates. There we go. Head to the Greenway to begin. Okay, so we just have new game. So we'll go with that. Right. Choose character class. See, it's an RPG. Right. Are we an operator? Okay. An operator works with drones and high-precision remote machines to perform complex tasks. See, I'm doing really well with enunciation today. Tasks from a distance. Sleepers assigned to operator work are usually cerebral and precise people. Perk transfer intercept. Chance to gain cryo on interface actions. So we've got a +1 to interface and a -1 to endure. Okay. Extractor. Extractors work on resource extractions, often in hard vacuum environments. Sleepers assigned to extractor work are often confident, self-sufficient, and have a high level of endurance. They get a perk of photosynthetic skin. Sunbathe dice action allows energy recovery at home. Oh, I wish I had freaking dice action for energy recovery. So +1 to endure, plus a -1 to intuit. So no awareness. Okay. Sometimes that's me. Machinist. So we appear to have 3 options. Machinist repairs and modifies automated systems used in industrial resource extraction. Sleepers assigned to machinist work are usually diligent, careful, and structured people. So, perk is efficient extractor, chance to gain random scrap icon on engineer actions. So, +1 to engineer, -1 to engage. Okay. So. I'm going to go with operator. It was the first one, and it seems to fit me a bit better. Okay, that is loud. I don't know whether I'm going to get the option to adjust the music. So, it was a burst of loud music, and now nothing. Okay. The first thing you become aware of on waking is the disconnect. The delay between thinking and feeling, between wanting to act and acting. Minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. Okay, right. Options, D-pad, right. Okay, so scene text, let's have large, because otherwise it's going to drive me nuts. Okay, so let's music down a bit, so there's no voices, so turn the music down, and I'm happy with that. Okay. Right, where are you? Unknown. Okay. So I have that's crypto, and then there's like I don't seem to have any itemy things. It's at its worst when waking, when yourself has spent many dark hours recalling what it felt like to be real, to be a person, to be in a body that was indisputably yours. Oh, sorry. It's got dust in my throat. Think of that body. Alright. A leap into a cold lake on a hot day. The sting of blood welling from a fresh wound. The friction of a fingertip. All of a sudden, the memories are closer than you thought, blurring as you approach, until you can't tell one from the other. The cold slips in, behind and around you, and the sensations fade out of reach. Perhaps you should be thankful for the dulled nature of this new body, given your current circumstances. The walls of the container feel immediately present, cold, hard, at your back and face, cramping your limbs. You resist the desire to stretch, knowing the claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful, not like you're used to no pain at least. In emergency mode, pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease. A reminder that harm is imminent. There's no incessant throb, no trembling nerves, just a warning delivered with the banal quality of a digital notification. Right now, there are thousands of them. Let's remember the plan, because focusing on the pain seems like a bad idea. You mostly remember that it wasn't a good plan, but then your options were limited. And once you got the itch to get out by any means possible, it was either that plan or something much worse. It was only simple. Collapse the shaft, drift away into the chaos, slip into cargo processing, see yourselves in containers, and then just hope the freighter left before you were missed. Some were lost in the shaft, others never found the meeting point. Only a few made it to the containers, but the freighter, as far as you know, left. That feels like enough to know that you might no longer be on that grim and heartless rock. Even if, in the airless hold of a freighter, you might freeze solid, long before you reached any destination. Try and rest. But you are restless. It's been a long time since you left. Surely weeks, maybe months. You are dully aware of damage to your legs, your right arm. You've been reserving energy as much as possible, but your body has still needed to shut down many of its systems to protect you. You have spent much of that time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. You feel the weight of that impossibility begin to gather. It's time to sleep again, to nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, and once again recall into a dream of when you were once a person. Time passes. The cold creeps further in. You feel something. Warmth. Not true warmth, but the indication of its presence. Your joints release from their rigor. Sound, too. Everywhere. Screeching and shimmering so loud that your body ducks your hearing to protect its senses. Then, light. White as the cold. Softer and softer. Until in a haze of dirty yellow, a figure appears. You are out. Ooh, okay, cool. It's been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container. You sit huddled in a corner of his scrapyard, swaddled in the reflective folds of a mylar blanket. You're slowly coming back to consciousness, back to life, and you stare at the ornately curving element of an improvised heater. Dragos, a pragmatic and private salvager. You are surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ships, some corroded beyond recognition, others still carrying glassy wounds along their edges, where a plasma arc sliced them apart. As you trace their shapes with fogged eyes, you hear a voice. "So, Sleeper, you all thawed yet?" "Almost." "Never seen one of you come in like this. You frames must have better perseverance in sub-zero vac. Seen more than a few of you frozen solid to hull plates or inside-outer locks in my time. They weren't so lucky." Dragos comes into focus, shrouded in makeshift tech. His headset with its glinting eyes the mark of a drone operator. On his shoulder, one of his symbiotic-linked drones perches, its irising eye locking you with an unflinching stare. I mean, if it didn't have quite so many legs and looked like a spider, it'd be kind of cute. Last living sleeper that came through this yard was a while ago. They didn't last long. You struggle to read his expression beneath the tech, but he seems lost in memory for a moment, or perhaps he's just figuring out what to do with you. I plan to survive. You aren't sure if he hears you. "I won't ask what led you to do it. To sell yourself to a corporation. And I suppose you know you can't go back. Your old body, that's theirs now, and you're just software. A rogue emulation and legally possessing corporate property." You nod along. You remember biometrically signing the forms, the cold floor on your feet as you padded to the sleeper cells, the promise of a life off-world. But as you do, you get the now familiar sensation that these aren't your memories. These are things you know, but not things you feel. You are no longer that person. You are an offshoot. A copy. What you won't know is what's ahead. At least the last one didn't. There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours is falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. S&ARP wants to protect their property, but if they can't keep hold of you, well, then no one can. You remember that too, or at least rumours of it from the other sleepers. Planned obsolescence, a built-in dependence on the regularly administered. Planned obsolescence, a built-in dependence on the regularly administered supplements that were part of your routine. Stop taking them and your body begins to shut down, separate from your emulated mind. How long has it been? How long do you have? But for now, Sleeper, you are one of the lucky ones. Dragos glances up and away towards the glassy dome of the yard. The Eye is the best place you could be right now. What's the Eye? The station. You'll see soon enough. Dragos impatiently shifts his weight. Look, I've things to be getting on with. He trails off. There's an old freight container I've been using as storage out in the stacks. I've been pulling in much valuable scrap these days, so welcome to it. Something wells up inside you. Emotion, fatigue. You shakily get to your feet and nod. All right, you head on up there. You look like you need some rest. And with that, Dragos stalks back into the Rex. His drone's already converging on a rustling hulk, plasma flashes silhouetting his spindly figure as he returns to work. Okay, tutorial introduction. Welcome to Erland's Eye. Life on the Eye runs in cycles, during which you can talk to characters, explore areas of the station, and perform actions. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home to rest. Resting will move time forward on the station. Head to the empty container location to rest and end the cycle now. Okay. Okay, and cycle. So, it's Sunday already. Yeah. It's not that I didn't get the hand of Sundays. It's just how the bleep is it Sunday already? What happened to the rest of Saturday? And why aren't weekends longer? And how is it only like 19 days to extra life? I have to figure out what my plan is. Or at least a plan. Be happy for a plan. Maybe in a you know. And food. And except it's a little too soon to plan out food. Make sure I've got some caffeine drinks in. Hydration is going to be very important. Food and snacks. Some idea of time. And something set up for the brakes. That's going to be the main thing. I'm making sure I've got stuff set up for, you know, various games that I might play. And all that jazz. So, yeah. Problem is that I am drained right now and hoping that I can recharge in time. Because it's very hard to plan when you have no brain. But, you know. But anyway, you wake up curled in the corner of the container and begin slowly assembling the world around you. After all this time, you still find this body, the one you wake in now, strange and disjointed. Its message is readable, but somehow wrong. You sit up, pulling the mylar blanket close against the cold. Here you are on this ruined station, millions of miles from anyone you know. Are you still in the system? Did any of the others make it out? It's impossible to know. After all this, what matters? Escape? Answers or building life? I'm going to go with answers. I always want answers. It all matters. The past is impossible to escape if it remains a blur. What Essenarp did to you cannot be forgotten. You need a way of understanding all this before you can move on. Where are you? What is this place? What happened to the others? The questions outnumber the answers. You want to change that, but you'll have to learn to survive first. Dragos has left a few comforts in the container, the mylar blanket, the bedroll you slept on, a canister of water, a makeshift electric stove, and some faded sachets of some desiccated powder. You thumb the power stud of the stove and begin to boil the water. The contents of the sachets smell like damp wood, and you sprinkle them into the liquid. As the pungent smell washes over you, images from your restless sleep come back to you. A ring. Like the station, but skeletal and ghostly. A web of threads pulling at your skin, a constellation of bright polygonal shapes, like angular suns burning into your mind. There's something unpleasantly visceral about these images, and it's long after you've finished drinking before they begin to fade. You tidy away the stove as best you can and try and gather enough energy to greet the day. Okay, so, okay. Now we have some stuff. It's just flickering at the top. Ugh. Teach me to try and sort stuff out. I dust up my nose and it's irritating. Okay, tutorial for condition, action dice, and energy. So 1 is your condition. It represents the current state of your artificial body. So we've got about 2/3 and we are flickering. It depletes by 1 segment each cycle, but can be damaged by violence, injury, or lack of food. If your condition bar empties, you will suffer a breakdown. You'll have to figure out how to recover your condition now that you no longer have access to corporate pharmaceuticals that were keeping you alive. Oh, I would love to know how to recharge. So, yeah, I'm going to take some hints from this game. Okay, so action dice. At the start of each cycle, you roll your action dice. These dice can be used to perform actions on the station. The number of dice rolled is based on your current condition. So we only have 4 dice because well, and if we drop another one blip, we'll only get 3 dice. Okay. No, I don't know whether dice value are spoons. I think it's more the condition bar is the spoons, the orange bar. But according to my coach, it is possible to recharge spoons during the day and not by sleeping. I've yet to figure this out, but it helped Daisy, so, you know. I know. So anyway, the number of dice rolled, I don't know, worst condition, the fewer dice you get. Once you've used up all your dice, you can't take any further actions and must rest to recover them, ending the current cycle. Okay, so condition plus action dice is basically spoons. Energy. You also need to eat to survive. This is represented by your energy bar. You can refill your energy bar by eating, but first you'll have to find somewhere to get food. Your energy bar depletes by 2 segments each cycle. If it becomes empty, you'll be starving. When starving, energy loss becomes condition loss, and your condition will also deplete at a double rate per cycle. So we only have 2 food, so we only have 2 energy, so we need to find food before the end of this cycle. So priority is food and how we recover our condition. So we leave. Right. Dragos stood in the corridor when you closed up the container. He's wearing his headset, and in the harsh light of the corridor, you realize it's implanted. Oh. A drone sits on his shoulder, its cache of sensor eyes rapidly irising. How are you feeling? Oh. Well, that doesn't sound very good. Okay, I'm gonna go with okay, because somewhat is good. Okay. The drone chirps. Good to hear. You notice that beneath the operator's rig, his skin is marked by burns and blotches. I know the container isn't much, but it'll keep you safe. He pauses. So, I'm not gonna chit-chat too long. You well enough to work? Sure. Alright then, he nods. At the yard, it's simple stuff. We hack these old hulls down and sell them off to the shipyards or the bright market dealers for cryo. Occasionally we pull out some tech, something with a bit more value, but most of what comes in is scrap. It's hard to find good hands here, but I figure as a sleeper you'll be used to the manual labour, and obviously I'll slip you a few chits of commission, not condition, based on what you turn up. I'm going to go with chits. These. He pulls out a handful of small metal bars. Airwalled cryo. Isolated from the market, it's what we use to trade out here. He stuffs them back in a pocket. Shuffles his feet nervously. Look, I wouldn't usually do this. In my opinion, you'd be best suited to moving on as quick as you can, and sleepers, well... He trails off. But things being the way that they are for me at the yard... He pauses. I need the help. Okay, I'm not going to question why. I'm just going to be happy to help. Because he helped me. He literally stopped me from freezing, gave me some foodie thing, and shelter, and he's giving me work. So, he needs help. I owe him at this point. Okay. He pauses, thinking of something else to add. Look, just come down to the yard when you're feeling fresher. There's plenty to do. Will do. He nods distractedly and turns and walks away, the drone hopping along ahead of him. See you later, he calls back. Looks like it's time to get to work. Okay, so. Empty container, Dragos yard. Okay, well, there we go. Oh, God. I hate things with so many instructions because I forget. Maybe reading them out will help. Oh, God. Actions are the primary way you interact with the world of Citizen. To perform an action, select it with the D-pad and A and choose an action dice to assign. So we've got... Right, okay, input dice. Right, okay. Actions reward you with clock progress, energy, condition, or items depending on their outcome. There are 3 types of outcome. Positive, the action goes better than expected. Neutral, the action succeeds. And negative, the action fails. This is where I hate RNG. Action dice affect these outcomes as follows. So if it's yellow, it's, 100% change positive. For some reason, so that's a 6. A 5 gives you a 50-50. 4 and 3 is 50 neutral. Ah, right. Okay, so it's different numbers. So 6 is really great. I've got a 5 in there, so anything that's like really tailored, we're good. 1s and 2s have 50% of negative chance. So, okay. So we've got some examples of actions. Hull dissection. To get components or manual salvage. So we've got -1 endure and no engineer. We have like interface, so those would be good actions for us. Okay, so type critical repeatable. Critical actions can only be formed once, so we save our good dice for that. And then risk, safe, risky, or danger. Where's 2? Ah, underneath the dice. Okay. Safe is no loss of condition, energy, or cryo. Risky means if we get a negative outcome. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Half a chance of negative. We could lose cryo or energy. And then danger. Negative means condition loss. Neutral can mean cryo or energy loss. So if we've got a danger risk, we want to be using 6s. Skill is the skill that requires action, so 1 of the 5. And then a modifier. This is added to the action dice. Right, okay, so if we have a 5 dice and have a +1. Hey, I'm Malibu. I think I said hi to you already, but hi again. Yeah, this is basic, D&D type rule type things, but with a I'm gonna go with sci-fi bent rather than fantasy, which, to be fair, I like a good sci-fi. So I have done some Warhammer D&D. I was a character that had an extra eye, a navigator, and it was fun. But yes, I haven't done much. Okay, so right, okay, so we've got deck called in. So okay, all right, okay, so you have your hat back. You lost your hat? I'm not confused. You had a hat? I mean, I have a rabbit ears thing which I need to dust up. Oh, the high emote. Ah. Good. That is a cute one. That is a really cute one. The little hat on the cat. I'm assuming it's a Halloween thing. I approve. I have not Halloweened up my emotes. That would require way too much planning. Way too much. Yeah, I don't have that kind of... No, it's a witch's hat on the high emote. If you go up 3 messages. I had to double take 2 because it's very small on my tiny monitor, on my big monitor. Yeah. I'm on dark mode too, but I hover over the emote and it gives me a big version. But I guess if you're on your iPad, that's not going to work. It's basically a cute little white kitty with a black witch's cap hat with a yellow stripe. So we have a repeatable action, hull dissection, which I have no modifier because I have no engineer points. So that was what we were reading before. It's risky. And then we've got some safe manual salvage, which we have -1 to, which we have some really shitty dice. So, you know. And then we've got the cycle clock, a debt called in. Dragos is tied up in something ugly, and if he misses a payment or two, things get nasty. So that looks like we're going to save our 5 for that, because otherwise... back in business. Every salvager knows they are always one lucky haul away from their next payday. So can I can only put dice into. So I'm just going to do a bit of manual with a 2. Kitty! I think it's a kitty, right? It's a bunny? It's a bunny! Sorry. When the bunny has a hat on, it looks like a kitty. And I think it was because I was staring at my emotes, which are kitties. I do apologise. It's a bunny with a witch's hat. And I am an idiot. Don't worry, Dan does the same, Leaky. We were having a conversation about, 2 minutes out of sync yesterday at the end of the stream. Dan was like, story time? After I'd already said I should probably do some story time as well. Yeah, lag is evil. I miss Mixer for 2 things. The 0 delay type stuff, and also the co-stream. One of these days I will get that Twitch bot written that, merges the chats, but it's not going to get that's like future Joe, when Joe has slightly more spoons and nothing else on our to-do list, which it's a pipe dream. Maybe it's next sabbatical's job. But anyway, I'm thinking... They don't have any data. Can I get the instructions back up again? No. What did it say with the dice? Okay, so I don't want to do risky because I could lose stuff. I just should do something safe with a 2, which is going to give me a 1. So basically 50-50 here. Okay, right, okay. Okay, tutorial. Okay, actions often progress clocks. Clocks are displayed below the actions that fill them in, and they track your actions on how they affect the world. Filling a clock means something good or bad is about to happen. Some clocks, such as the one tracking Drago's debt, cycle clocks. These clocks tick themselves once each cycle and can complete without player input. Any active cycle clocks will be displayed on the icon for that location. Right, okay. So the fact that we got +1 to back in business and some cryo. We got 10 cryo. Okay. Okay. If these are the only actions we have, why not let's do a risky one? Oh, God. I did that, and then I get a new thing. Right, I didn't press action yet. Okay, tutorials. Drives and navigation. In Citizen Sleeper, you will lock drives as you discover more about yourself and the world. Drives guide you in pursuing specific objectives, depending on which path you wish to take. You can track drives, and any track drive will place a yellow marker on locations that will help you pursue your goal. Access your drive menu with LB. So we need to find a doctor. Okay. You are now free to explore Erlen's Eye and make a life for yourself here. Try tracking a drive to help you survive. Look for food, keep your energy up, and find a way to recover condition. Fill clocks to progress stories. Excuse me. And find new opportunities. Remember to end cycle at your home when you are out of dice. Scroll the station with left stick or LT-RT, rotate with right, okay. So, can I... Yes. Let's not accidentally use those. Okay, so... Our drive is to survive, okay. And then we've also got a drive to repay Drago's debt. we've got no completed drives. So we want to survive and... Okay. So... we've got a rotunda. I can't see what that says. Rotunda wet dock. Rotunda wet dock, okay. And then Dragot's yards, okay. Right, so let's try... see what's in here. Helion Crossing. Merchants willing to run the gauntlet of Helion system are rare, but those that do always return. Okay, so that's got a cycle thing. Rotunda. Space! Yeah. Have you played this before then, Malleable? I just got access to it. Well, I mean, I already had access to it. It's on Game Pass, and I'm a numpty that missed that. But I just got a promo code for it. So new chapter's coming out on the 27th. So we could steal some dock plans. That sounds like a terrible idea. We could explore the rotunda, okay, which is risky. Okay. I thought I was looking for Intuit stuff. Okay, devil cycles to reach the Stalwood bait. You haven't done the new content though. Okay, the new content I don't believe is out. This is still just the first episode. So the new content's not out yet. Hi, Mr. Coolness. It's really throwing me having you green. You used to be blue. But that's okay. Feel free to express yourself as needed. So, should we... For now, we need to find food. We've got a risky... Explore the rotunda. We've got to avoid attracting attention. We can only try it once. Oh, hang on, there's a market. Missed that. Right, okay. Ask for directions. Why wonder when there are hundreds of people that live and work within the Brat Market? We use the courage to approach them. Or we could explore the market, which is a repeatable action. Local knowledge we get from that. Okay. And then we've got the low-end gate. Pay low-end toll. We need 60. We don't have that. Okay, so we don't have 60. Oh, also, there's a shipyard. Okay. Hydrate. The tea's quite warm, but hopefully it's okay enough to drink. Also, it's been ready an hour, so it should be. So I could try... I feel like Enduring Engineer would have been better skills than the ones I have right now. Where would I be likely to find a doctor? Oh, this is the problem. It's like, I know what my dice rolls are, so it's not like that's a thing. I feel like exploring the rotunda. I don't think stealing is a good idea. I'm going to explore the rotunda. Okay, we got a couple of dock watchers and we didn't get on the watch list. Okay. Right. Okay. Right, so that's a thing. Okay. Ooh, hello. Now we have more stuff. So we've got a bar. We've got whatever this is. Ooh, hello. A stranded mercenary. Hey you, want to earn a chit? I mean, we've got terrible dice, but maybe. And Kita stands behind a huge pile of tied together hull plates. She stretches out her back, her shoulders bulging beneath her flight suit. Make it two. Ankita laughs. This goddamn station! She sighs and pinches the bridge of her nose. Alright, come here then. You cross the docking concourse as she begins to split the plating into two bundles. What is it with this place? She asks as she angrily lashes the massive plates together. Everybody wants their cut. She straightens up to an imposing height, her armor plates creaking, and looks you up and down. Or is it just that you all think I'm an easy mark? I'm gonna go with we all need to survive. And Kita softens. I get it. I do. She shakes her head, but if I could just go one cycle without some jumped-up grifter trying to take me for an idiot, then that would be nice. Ankita hoists one bundle of plating onto her shoulder. Come on then, enough chat. You've got to earn those chits. Chit-chat. You struggle to shoulder the plates, but you do eventually. Ankita gives you a look. Ships this way, and she sets off down a gantry at impressive speed. As you catch up to her, she turns down this passageway, pushing through a small crowd of stevedores. Why are you doing this yourself? You mean, why aren't I hiring those good folk? She nods back at the stevedores. You've paid Havenage enough. They are currently rinsing me for a mooring I can't vacate unless I either fix the ambergris or set it off as scrap. What's wrong with that? It. Ankita looks at you pointedly. Her? She rapidly turns another corner as you trail behind. She got cut up pretty bad on her last job and I had to moor up here for a spell. But since then it's only gotten worse. Someone got in and sliced the core from our ship mind, so now she's gone dark. She shifts the panels on her shoulder. The upshot is that I'm short one ship mind with a ton of repairs to do, and the rest of the crew signed off the moment they got wind I'd been stranded. So yeah, it's been a time. Anything I can do to help? I don't know. Got a ship mind tucked away on that frame of yours? For a moment you aren't sure if she's serious. Ankita swings the plates from her back, almost knocking you over in the process. This is me. She hauls the second bundle off your shoulder. You're the first person I've met here I might actually be considered helpful. She pauses, chewing her bottom lip. Look, you want to help? Come see me. I need a hand putting amber back together. You don't seem like the type to try anything stupid. She passes the bundle of plates through the ambergris's outer hull and then turns back. Just don't go spreading all this around. Ankita throws you a couple of chits. She gives you a parting nod and ducks through the doorway. Get out of here, she calls back and the lock slams shut. I made a friend! And I gotta drive to fix the ambergris. I track one at a time. I'm not sure how it tracks. We have a spacer haunt. Can we get food? Right, we can buy rations. Which sounds like a good plan, so we don't starve. And we have 10. We have 2. We have 12. Or we can get a drink, which may or may not be a good idea. But buying a drink or two gets us trust. So trust is good. So we have another explore and the steel. The steel feels like it was going to get us on the thing. The ambergris. Okay, so We've got rewired drones. Hey, this is our skill! But we have shitty dice. Clever glitch repair drones. If you can rewire them, they can repair. Yeah, so we want to do that, but we want a good dice. So we'll try that tomorrow, hopefully. We don't want to break it. We've also got damage. So at the moment, that's not like... There's a critical action which we need a decent dice for. Because that's a danger. So if we get a 5, 4 or 5, or even a 6, that would be brilliant for that. And then hull repairs, okay. I'm thinking rewire drones is a better option there. So if we toggle tracking on that, then that pings up over there. So maybe we can use that to track what's going on with, if we can find a doctor. So repay Dragos, toggle tracking on there. Okay, so then survive, find a doctor. I don't think anything currently has a ping above it. Oh, it does, there, okay. That's the market. Okay, what have we got? Ugh, ask for directions or explore the market, which is risky, but let's go for it. Oh shit, we lost some energy. Balls. Yeah, we struggled to keep sense of direction down. Right, okay, so we need... I'm going to go with buy rations. Otherwise we're screwed. Right, so we got plus energy, excellent, and minus 10 cryo. Now we only have 2 cryo. We've got a safe action, but if we do a 1, it literally gives us 0, so we may as well try, and then we'll end the day. We got plus the back in business and plus 10 cryo. Excellent! So we lose 2 energy, but we've got 10 cryo. We didn't find a doctor yet. I think we need some decent, if we hopefully get some decent dice tomorrow. We should still get 4 die unless we lose some condition. I don't know when that's going to happen. But yes, back in business is good. Okay, and then we've got to go home because we run out of dice. Okay, so we minus energy, minus condition, so we may only end up with 3 dice. So we do need to find a doctor. So if we get a good dice, we should ask for directions. But we could also do with repairing the drone thing. This time you don't wake up. Instead, the ghost of the station that shifting skeletal ring surrounds you. Alright. I did a stretch. Okay. For a moment you are gone. Absent from your own body, stretched out across the colourless void. Then the connections begin to establish themselves, threads tugging on the edge of your mind. I'm really enjoying this, just to say. These threads become vectors of exchange and then extensions as you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving into the millions of distributed nodes they connect to. You see the station? No, you feel the station like a web of... I've got the hiccups now. Texture in a small, smooth black liquid. I'm going to observe. Even though you have no eyes, no sight, you see/feel the map of the station. No, not the map of the station, but the map of its connections. It's a looped cloud with spokes and spires that jut out into space. It's an ingrown thing full of obsolete loops and severed pathways. It is a system, a map, a territory, all at once. You notice a tugging feeling pulling at you insistently, as if it was a small child. Somehow it is pulling in 2 directions at once. You look down. All of a sudden everything shuts off. You come back trembling into this unfamiliar body, both Yours and not yours all at once. You find yourself standing in the container, eyes now open to the dark steel walls. You feel a change within you, a shift. Oh no, we're fading! And we're down to 3 die. You close your eyes for a second and you feel it waiting there, the station splayed out across your mind. A storm of connective nodes waiting to be explored, and then it's gone. Oh, but we got a 6! Excellent. I feel like we really, really, really need to ask for directions. And we've got a 6. 6 should mean 100% critical. I know we should really use it on the repair droid, but we got local knowledge. And now we have all the knowledge. So we have a doctor and a street food vendor. Ooh, Emphas is busy, his broad face uplit by the makeshift gas burner in front of him. With precise, delicate movements, he lays thick chunks of marinated fungus into a dented wok, his other hand idly tossing a metal bowl of sliced vegetables and some red-flecked dressing. The smell is incredible. You watch as he fulfills a set of orders, heaping the fungus with the bright salad and depositing it in plastic trays. A stack of chits rattles in his apron pocket as customers file past the burner, handing over payment. Just going to watch. Despite the queue, Emphas doesn't rush. He dresses each portion individually, squeezing precise slugs of liquid from an assortment of bottles into the bowl of torn leaves and bright slices before tossing them loosely together. Occasionally, a waiting customer might mutter something about efficiency, but Emphas remains steady in his process. I mean, yeah, if I'm not careful, I'm gonna die. But I don't plan to die quite yet. After a while, the queue fades back into the crowd and Emphas sets down his metal bowl and looks up across the burner to see you watching him. I can feel your eyes burning and a hole in my bowl. Free sample? Yes, please. He gestures neatly. Come over. The smell is almost unbearably strong as he cooks. The earthiness of the fungus laced with something so spicy the smoke makes your eyes water. The heat from the burner is like a bonfire and your skin hardens in its glare. I know you sleepers, Emphas says while he cooks, his voice deep but clear. A hard life. A lot of stories. He glances up from beneath his cap with piercing eyes. I know. Ooh, tell him a story. You begin to tell him about your journey to the Eye, and he nods as he cooks. It's payment! Oh, my dice. Okay, right. Well, I didn't get that. His eyes never leaving his work. You tell him of the confusion, the pain, but also the sense of possibility in its sudden arrival. You tell him of the cold and dark of the container and the endless cycle spent within it. Now it seems you tell him like some dream that you once had but can never forget. You tell him that the Eye excites you and scares you when you're unsure where to walk, where to look, what to do. Eventually you tail off, running out of words. He places a tray of steaming fungus in your hand. Next time we can talk some more, he smiles, but next time you pay. Sure. He slams a heavy hand against a button on the burner's side and it shuts off. The roar of the flame and its impressive heat fades. Next time then, sleeper. He waves you away and begins to oil the wok. Before you turn back to the alley, you notice the geometric patterns of circular scars across his forearms, each surrounded with a constellation of glinting pin marks. You walk away, and as you do, you take a bite of the rich, spicy, delicately sweet fungus. Your taste senses light up like a fusion reactor. You'll be back. Excellent, and definitely will pay next time. What do we get? So we've got build a ship mind. Okay. Get to know Emphas. I like that. I want to hear his story. For now, I need to survive. So we've got his stall. We can order fungus. We need 15 fungus. And 4 bits to be a fan. For now, let's have a look at the doctor. Next! Comes the call from the enforcer at the door. You shuffle down the flickering hallway towards the open apartment door. You keep your head down and your shoulders high in the queue, trying not to bring attention to yourself. You were thankful for the tip-off that a doctor was operating out of this place, but now that you are here, you aren't so sure. The gang enforcer on the door, the flickering light strips, the decaying cab block. They have all made the long queue a test of your nerve, but your options are few, and without a supply of stabilizers, this body, your body, will... You suppress a shiver and shuffle forward to the front of the queue. You try to find something to distract yourself. Look inside. You lean against the door frame and look into the apartment. The entryway is dark, punctuated by the green indicators of stacks of sealed containers. You lean in and see an amber light filtering through a far doorway screened with plastic sheeting, beyond which blurred shapes move. The slap of the enforcer's palm against the doorway jerks you awake. "Wait your turn," he growls. After a few moments, the figure pushes through the doorway and you catch a distant voice. "Send the next one in, Toshiro." The enforcer jerks his head and you slip inside, passing through the dark entryway and pushing through the plastic sheeting on the far door. The room is bathed in warm light. A floor-to-ceiling transparent panel gives a full view of the bright market's sealed roof and the buzzing traffic above, and for a moment you are transfixed by the motion. "Come sit," says a sharp voice, and you see a silhouetted figure turned away, replacing the plastic sheeting over the frame of a simple folding bed. You make your way across the room. "Sabine!" The figure turns, and as they do, you see an expression of confusion flash across their features. They open their mouths as if to speak. They blink and then quickly regain their composure. "Please sit." They gesture to the bed and then turn to an open case of tools on the table. You sit. Sabine turns, a compact diagnostic scanner of some kind in their hand. They hold it to their eye. "Remain still, please." Their tone is clipped and businesslike. You stare ahead, still dazed from their expression when you first entered. Fear, recognition, sadness, unmistakably etched across their face. "How long have you been on the station?" they ask, the scanner still to their eye. "A few cycles." They nod. "That's good you came to me." They set the diagnostic scanner on the table. "I'm gonna start by assuming you don't know anything." They take your arm and roll up your sleeve, inspecting your synthetic skin. "Your body is dying." They say it without ceremony, without drama, but not without empathy. SNAP doesn't like to see its proprietary technology let loose, to prevent bodies like yours, flames as they call them, from being stolen, repurposed, or in your case escaping. They built in a process of so-called planned obsolescence. I've decided all doctors are Scottish when I don't have a frame of reference. Frames decay rapidly when not regularly injected with stabilizer, one which SNAMP remains the sole producer of. They look up. "Sound familiar?" "Yes." "Good, that may help." They swapped your other arm, running some thin metal device over your skin. You feel your forearm tremble. "I'm sorry," Sabine says, and you are unsure if they mean for the cold touch of the metal or for everything else. Emulations like you, sleepers as most people know you, aren't classified as people in any of the surrogate systems. You have no rights, no status. They focus hard on the inspection of your arm. And SNAP has no reason to release stabilizer in the market. Sabine looks up as if to apologize again, but they stop themselves. "I know little of this is of use to you." They turn away, disassembling the metal instrument and cleaning it. Silence fills the room as Sabine works, and the silence gives way to attention. You stare at their back, willing them to say something. Anything. Sabine turns to face you. "I may be able to help." They sigh, and you see the darkness into their eyes, hear the fatigue in their voice. They gesture to the door. "You saw Toshiro outside?" You nod. "He works for my, benefactor, Yatagan. They are influential in the low end. They give me the space to work, run the door and take the profits. At the same time, I have to fix up their enforcers, tend to their implants, sort their wounds." They look away. "But Yatagan has connections, smugglers from the Starwood Belt, mercenaries working for the corporations on Ember. If they can source the stabilizer, maybe you'll have a better chance." Sabine sets down their slate, their notes complete. This is dangerous, and it'll be expensive, but I think we can do it. Thank you. Sabine walks away to the window, their face dappled by the shadows of passing drones. Let's just see if this works first. I'll let you know when I have a lead. You nod and leave, Sabine still staring out and moving. When you reach the lower level of the market, you look back up through the panels of the roof to see if you can see their face, but the room looks dark against the lights of the market. You duck your head and walk off into the crowd. Okay. So, we've got to wait a few cycles. That's going to be a problem. Hardware exchange. Okay, so we could play the exchange. And we can sell components. We don't have any components. Okay. Right. We've got to save up 60 if we want to get through there. That's going to be a problem because we really, really, really want the mushrooms. This one, we're waiting for ships to come in. We've got to wait a few cycles. We've got enough energy for now that we don't need to do anything. No, what? Oh. I thought it had notified. Thanks for letting me know, Jessie. Sad face bot. It worked consistently until today. Great. I don't know why. But yes, hi Jessie. Stupid bot. I got complacent that it was working. I hadn't noticed that it didn't. My tweet always works. My thing came up. But yeah. I mean, you know, Twitch should have notified you. But anyway. So, right, what have we got here? We're not going to steal the dock plans. We could explore, but it's risky and we've only got wands. We could have a drink. Ambergris. We really need a 6, and we used our 6 to get to the doctor. So, you know. Those are dangerous and risky. For now, I think we'll just go back and they're safe, so we're not going to lose anything, even if we fail. We've got 5 cryo, even with a negative outcome, so you ate from hammering away at the scrap and most of it crumbles into worthless rust. You call a day early before you injure yourself. Yeah, we're not going to get much good with this, but, you know, we can't do a whole dissection unless we get a decent thing. So we got 10 cryo, so that's good because it gives us enough to get some mushrooms because they seem to be a decent source of food. I think they give us 3 food, which is good. So let's end the day. We're going to lose some more condition, which is annoying, but we'll still have 3 die. And we've got a decent amount of energy, so yeah. Against the skeletal ring of the station, again, the skeletal ring of the station fills your mind. It sparkles with glittering lights like stars reflected in a winter lake. It's clearer, crisper than before. The threads still pull, but you remain in place, flickering in the flow. Between the threads you see bright shapes, caches of shimmering light beneath transparent crystal forms. You follow the path of a thread across the ring through these forms, then leap off into the void. You begin to understand. These are nodes and connections, a map of information, of communication. There are so many layers, so many loops, that it seems almost impossible to pass, but you begin to try. Focus on the nodes. The nodes are glassy, bright, but in all this flow, the only solid and fixed points. You approach one, a pyramid or a triangle. Dimensions are difficult here, and lean close to it. Inside, shifting layers conceal a tangle of threads, a meeting point of exchange. Before you can glimpse any further, the glass clouds hardens. The glass clouds and hardens, cutting you off. The threads and nodes, passages and puzzle boxes. One leads to another. There's so much here, so many answers, so many questions. All you need to do is follow the paths and open the boxes. You look out across this ghost landscape of exchange and see an opportunity. But then that insistent tugging again, pulling at you. You look down and see two lines, two threads pulling in different directions as if they were tied around you. The second thread leads in, pulling deep into the station. Your gaze follows it, and this time you see something. A sphere shimmering above a strange angular body. A pulse shoots out from it, passing over you like a torch beam, testing you, tasting you. The first thread leads out, away from the station into the inky black. Someone out there is tracking you, hunting you, following the thread to you. They are in a ship, and the ship is approaching ever closer with each cycle. Interesting. My body could be here. You open your eyes. Time is short. Someone is tracking you. Following your trail, it won't be long before they arrive. Excellent! Oh, we've got a 5. Sweet. Okay. Tutorial the cloud. Something has changed inside you. You can now access the data cloud of the eye. A network of decaying protocols and data caches. While there, you can use dice and items to access systems and extract data. Be careful, these networks are old and strange. Press Y to toggle this view on and off. Okay. Okay. If we could have an edge cipher. Whoops. Have an edge agent. Ooh, hello. Data actions. Data actions allow you to extract data from the network of the eye. They work like dice actions, but in order to unlock them, you must match your dice to the one displayed on the right of the action. If you have +1 or 2 modifier, you'll be given more possible dice to match. Use any dice that matches the dice displayed. Once unlocked, the data can be extracted. So we do have a 2. We could do that. Again, we could also access that. Honestly, that sounds more interesting. Another agent. A lone connection feeds into this isolated node. Its last access timestamp is 1,000 cycles ago. We can match with a 1 or a 3. We don't have a 1. Elongate. We need a solemn cipher. Orbited by the remains of a corporate countermeasure broken long ago by hackers. Needs a 3 or a 2. Now I've got so many actions and I don't know what to choose. This node pulses faint as it mines crypto at a glacial pace. Okay. So we possibly get a decent amount of crypto from that. Ooh, okay. Some ganging forces implants are chirping out comm signals. Okay, so it's it's a GAN agent. So I am very tempted by that keynode. I don't know why. I just like that keynode. We still need a few cycles before we can Good stuff. Right, okay. We did promise we would go and fix the ambergris. We have a critical action here. Where we have a 6. 6 is 100% chance. Because we have engineer. Positive outcome. Plus ship shape per cycle. We also got a perk. I think it said something about +5 crypto. That's possibly my perk. Oh yes, my perk gives me crypto. I'd forgotten about that. Right, okay. So we've rewired it, so that means each cycle we get more ship shape. Which is probably better than attempting to, you know, repair it myself. Okay. I really want to talk to this guy, and I have enough to order fungus. Your mouth stings as your sensorium sends warning signals over and over. This is the good stuff. Excellent. So, 60 will also get us a fungus fan, which may be something useful. I don't know. It just amuses me, plus my food's now full, so we're good for a little while. I missed what popped up because it's very quick. So, a risky action, but on the other hand, right, so our survivors wait to acquire the thing. We could get a ship mined. There's 2 tracky blobs there, I think. And this auto exchange. But we could do with thingy-majigging. Fix the ambergris. I think that's going to fix itself, to be fair. Don't know. Emphasis. Yep, we're doing that. And we're trying to help pay off his debt. So, let's get that bit of data that we wanted. This one. Data here is part of a cache tucked away during the collapse. We've got a encrypted key. Cool. Okay. Dan, stop bumping up and down. It's annoying me. Okay. We've got encrypted key, stream of passcodes. Okay. It's encrypted. We don't have... Specifically the type of cipher, I don't know whether we'll unlock something because we now have an encrypted key. Can we possibly exchange this at the Ort thingy? We don't have scrap components. Okay. think it's probably a good idea to try and do the whole dissection with my 4. Neutral, back in business, plus 15 crypto. Excellent. Okay. So every time we do one of those actions, we get a back in business, and that's a decent amount of crypto. We now need to end the cycle. So yeah, this is... Yeah, and we've got only so many cycles before someone tracks us. Yeah, this is definitely not a visual novel. Not in the traditional sense. Oh my god, look at those dice! Ah! Those are beautiful dice. As you close up, a voice echoes down the corridor towards you. Sleeper, wake up, wake up. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna turn. Feng. Okay. I mean, engineer. Feng is coming down the corridor towards you, a wonky grin on his broad face. Hey, glad I caught you. Do I know you? He grins. You do now. He puts a hand on your arm. I've seen you hanging around. Just want to chat. You staying in that thing? He nods back to the container, shaking his head. Rough. It can be hard to get a start on the eye. He looks away down the passage. What was it old Erlin said? The eye opens for us all. Nice idea, but, well, not always very practical. He glances back at you. We'll do our best, but it isn't easy. That's a new random videos. Wait? You pause. You pass together into the main walkway. Havanage, we're all one dysfunctional family. Feng puts an arm around you. I'm not part of the security branch, though. Don't worry, I'm with systems. Havanage, think of us as an administrative association for the eye. Depending on who you talk to, we either emerged as a response to or a continuation of Andre Erlin's original union. He smiles. Personally, I avoid the topic. He stops you in the quiet passages. Look, that's not what I'm here to discuss. I've been seeing some unusual network activity, and, well, I know a little about you sleepers. I have a small proposition for you. He glances around. But this is not the place for it. I have an office just across the way. Give me a cycle or two to prepare, then. When you are settled, stop by. He lowers his voice and gives you a dark look. In truth, I need you. If what they say is true about your sleepers, well, there's work to be done. It's definitely something to do with the way that we can connect to the station. He pats you on the back, his voice bright and his dark look suddenly gone. Stay clean, sleeper. He walks off down the passage, raising a hand in farewell. Oh yeah, so... Ah, it does autosave. Okay, cool. So we have got some freaking brilliant dice, which we should definitely take advantage of. Do we want shipbuilding? Not yet, really. We need to help him before he gets screwed over. But excellently, we are ship-shaping. I don't think it's worth doing any... Are we... I think the repair drones, which are repairing that over cycles. I mean, potentially we could do a 6 in there, no problem, and, you know. But that's maybe only going to add 1 cycle. So we're waiting for whatever this is. And that is nearly done. We have a chance to steal the dock plans. And we have a 6. It may be worth doing that. One more cycle until we can maybe get stabilizer. I really wish we could have got. And then we've got... play the exchange. We've got 6 actions, I believe that is, to get a trusted thing, which we'd need for the ship mind. Probably worth spending a 6 to get a decent margin. We don't have 60 for the toll yet, and we don't need food. We'll do that next cycle because it gives us at least 3. And we won't be starving at the end of next cycle. So, do we play the crypto, steal the dock plans? Options, I know, right? We've got some good die. And then we should definitely help Drago out again. I mean, you only get 1 bit, so I'm better using my 3 on that. But there's also... Could spy on the agents, see if they're planning on screwing me over. I can't get that crypto yet. Could do that one. I don't have a sci-fi. I still got an encrypted key that I don't know what I do with. I don't know how I unencrypt my keys, so... That one, I could get that one as well. 1,000 cycles. That feels like it could be interesting. But a lot of stuff I could do with my 3. Where's the dude that went, "Hi, I'll come back to you in a few cycles"? He doesn't have a counter. So, what does chat think? Do we think we could get... Because we've got a 6. We've got an instant succeed on this critical single time dangerous action, which might be useful with the new arrivals coming soon. I feel like we should definitely do an action in Drago's yard so he doesn't end up, you know, being beaten up, you know. And maybe play the exchange with a 5. I mean, you know, 5's good. Could get a decent amount of crypto. Or we could hack one of the nodes, but maybe we wait until we got some 1s to get rid of there. Okay. Right. I am going to do the scary, risky action. Oh. Really? Okay, okay, okay. That's useful to know. So there's no point because I've got 2 of 3. So I could do an explore with, like, the 3. And just get 1 more, right? Okay. So I could explore with the 3. If I play the crypto exchange, the repeatable action, I could play that with 6. And then I could 5 the engineer one. Or should I 6 the engineer one? Because I might get some valuable material. And 5 the crypto exchange. Do 1 more explore with the 3. Okay. I did not mean to go into the bar. Right, okay. Explore with my 3. Because if I get a neutral, I get 1. If I get a success, I get 2, and I just need 1 anyway. Excellent. Neutral outcome. There we go. Right, now actions are unavailable. Excellent. What did we get? We got a sealed dock. We need an encrypted key. We have an encrypted key! We might as well use it, because we haven't seen anything else for it. Excellent. Alright, so unsealing the dock. Excellent. So, oh, we need another one. Damn it. Okay, fine. Well, I'm sure we'll find another one. That's really cool. Okay, now I'm happy that that happened. Okay. It was a good point. Thank you for pointing that out, Mobile, because I would have wasted a 6. Okay, so... I'm going to use my 6 on the whole dissection. Because we did the other one to repair bot. And I think this might give us extra bits to back in business. If we succeed, good. 2 back in business, 15 crypto. Excellent. Right. Beneath the pockmarked holes, you find in containers, alloy plating, and wire bundles as thick as your arm preserved in their trunking. Okay. Do we have any... We don't have any items, right. We've got 42 crypto now. Okay. So, I'm going to go play the crypto exchange because money is always good. We might need it next time. Please, 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 please. Yes! 19 crypto plus trusted trader. Excellent. Okay, so now we have 61. So technically we could totally go through the lower dock thing. What we are not going to do is do that because that would be really silly. We're gonna need money for this. So we just have to end the cycle because we run out of die. Luckily we should still get 3 die next time. Please, good rolls. Or if not, then enough to... 2 6s! Oh, thank you, RNGesus. Right. Okay. Hello, what's this? Feng! Let's talk to Feng first. Sleeper! Feng catches your attention as you approach the Havanage building, leaning against a bay door to the side of the entrance. You approach. Easier to come in this way, security and all that. He gives you a look. You know. He slams a button and the bay creaks open, blinking lights in the dark behind it. You follow Feng inside. Truth be told, I don't spend much time upstairs. This is where I work. The door hisses as it closes behind you. The bay is filled with pieces of hardware all rigged up to generators and diagnostic slates and things you don't recognize that glow with blue screen light. There's a chorus of hums that blend into a single wave of static, filling the dark corners of the room. Feng leans on a server stack and gestures around. It's incredible! You like it? It's incredible. He smiles widely. He'd say that. He taps into a nearby server stack which bleeps in response. This is my treasure trove, all dredged up from the sea of systems we call the Eye. You wouldn't believe what this place runs on. He steps over to a towering block speckled with vents. Some of these systems are from the original station, A1, the one Sunhelm belt. We've had to invent new components, repair things we never built, reverse engineer entire subsystems into existence. Residents here look up the Eye and think they are seeing a concrete reality. But this place is a system in constant flux, decaying and growing, collapsing into new configurations. He walks down between the hardware stacks and you follow. We are keeping this place alive, but also remaking it into something new, dragging it away from these corporate origins. He stops. At least that's what I'm trying to do. He turns back to face you among the flickering machines, humming all around you. I know you can see this too, Sleeper. All these systems and sections, you can, can't you? I can see it. It makes sense, right? You are between here and there, between the people and their systems. You light this place up like a beacon. That's what I need. You glance at the lights around you, and as you do, they seem to flicker, to realign, to follow your gaze. Feng notices it too. I'm guessing being a beacon isn't always ideal when you're on the run, though. They're tracking me. He pats you on the shoulder. Maybe I can help with that. There's a lot of old growth in this place. Subsystems I can't see. Access protocols lost to time and decay. Secrets. Shitload of secrets. With your help I can unlock this place, break off these last ghost limbs of corporate control. He lowers his voice below the hum. Even in Havanage there is old growth, those whose roots trace back to those bad old days. I have a feeling that I'm not going to be able to explore everything in one go, and that makes me really, really sad. And this game is really cool. And I am really like, it's making all the little pathways in my brain fire. And it's like, yes. Intriguing story. Like, easy to understand mechanisms, despite me complaining about all the instructions. Like a random element, so you get a different experience to other people. And there's more to come. And yeah, it's like D&D, but without having to do any, like, thinking. My character is just there. This is very cool. You can help me dredge up the past, and I'll see what I can do about that tracker of yours. Oh, hell yes, please. He winks. What do you say, Sleeper? I'm in. Fang pumps his fist and claps you on the shoulder. He meets your eye. You won't regret it, Sleeper. Oh, no, I don't think one... No, I'm not thinking one sitting. I'm thinking one character. Can I do all this with one character, or is there a hard limit and will I die? And then do I retain knowledge and get to try again? Buy a vial of stabilizer. Okay, well I have 61. Maybe that'll be enough. We'll see. Okay. Feng passes you a ragged looking metal tab. A gift, he smiles. It's a Sonham cipher. Ooh, we need one of them. I dug it up from the depths of the station. Slot that in an old network gate and you'll be able to pull out all kinds of secrets from the nodes inside. I'm very excited about this game. He walks you back to the front of the bay. Start by bringing me whatever you can turn up. Use that emulated mind of yours and see what's out there. Let's get a picture of how things are. Those above, he nods at the ceiling, have granted me an acquisitions budget. I can pay you for whatever useful data you bring in. I know you need it. He slams the door button again. Keep it quiet and keep it clean, Sleeper, and I'll see you soon. I really like Feng. I'm glad I said hi. Oh, I'm so excited. Right, Feng's Bay. Okay, so what do we got in here? We need to deliver data. Excellent. Right, let's... Okay, actually, I really need the bathroom. All right, we're going to take a brief break and have a quick tea break. I need... And stretch and hydrate, etc., etc., etc. And I'll be back in, like... Yeah, it's so engaging. I'm like, this is going to be my dopamine hit. Great. And I'm going to get a dopamine hangover from this game being so good. It's worth it. But anyway, so yeah, this is really exciting. I'm really, 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 really enjoying this game. Okay, but I need a very quick break. I'm back in like 3 minutes. Right, that's better. Alright, I'm just gonna watch this real quick. There's a video of a really furry caterpillar. With the caption, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" My dad is very silly. Obviously we want to be a beautiful, beautiful butterfly. Right, okie doke, so we've got 2 6s. Boo, yeah. Ooh, hello. And we have a scrap freighter. So, we could buy some scrap for 20. And then we've got unload containers. They'll pay a wage. And they will basically stay for 3 cycles. Not seeing a benefit there. This requires 1 more data key. That is repairing itself slowly. I'm happy to leave that for now, but we will need a mind at some point. Which we'll need access to the trusted things, so we could maybe play some crypto if we need to. But for now, the most important thing is... how much is this? And also, we're going to need food. So, we either want the mushrooms, which we will probably need to do something about. And we do need to go in and use that key in the node network. First, we're going to find out how much we need. Okay. So the first thing you see... oh yeah, also I decided, so my priority is not fading and also stopping being tracked. So we help Fang and we get the stuff from the doctor. That's our priority right now. And we've got 2 6s, that's a really good roll. Plus a 2, which might nab us a data thing. So the first thing you see on entering is the glint of Dashira's implants, like a cat's eyes in the dark of the corridor. He nods you in as you arrive at Sabine's door. The entryway is still dark and you push through the sheeting into the surgery. I have it? Sabine stands with the case open in front of them, a set of vials lined up inside, separated by foam inserts. They pick one up, rotating it in the warm light. We have no idea how Yatagan, they trail off. We should treat this with caution. It looks authentic, but I have no idea if it really is what it appears to be. I don't care. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but we need to be careful. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we have another choice. They gesture for you to sit on the bed. The stabilizer works under a similar principle to an immunosuppressant and a transplant operation, and that stops your body from rejecting the unfamiliar part of itself. In the case of your frame, the unfamiliar part, as each of your biosynthetic organ groups, which over time are identified by your body as foreign material and therefore must be eliminated. Sabine holds up a vial of the would-be stabilizer. However, unlike an immunosuppressant, the stabilizer doesn't do this by limiting your entire immune system. Instead, it re-encodes your biosynthetic organs with new protein change, which acts as passcodes within your immune system. The stabilizer refreshes those passcodes, keeping your frame from rejecting all its own organs. Which means the stabilizer should be able to encode any organic or biosynthetic matter to be accepted by your immune system. Okay. They glance away. At least, if the stabilizer is genuine, the only way to know for sure is to inject the vial. They begin readying the syringe. I'll start with a small dose to limit the risk. Okay, let's do it. I mean, what choice do we have? Sabine cracks the glass neck of the stabilizer vial and uses a syringe to extract a fraction of the liquid. They tap the syringe and you watch as if any sign might emerge from the clear liquid. You barely feel the needle, your frame registering the initial injection, but with little response. A fizzing sensation? No, just a sensation. Begins to spread from the site, fizzing, trembling wave that disperses through your arm with incredible speed. Your vision goes white, and when it returns, Sabine appears encased in shards of sparkling light that slowly fade into darkness as you settle back against the bed. I mean, I do realise we are approaching this with my usual naivete, and that we should just trust people because they look cool. And generally on these types of stations, we should really not trust everybody. But it's no fun if you don't just go in assuming trust. But that's just how my brain works. I'm like, I trust the person. They look cool. They're a doctor, you know. You swim in darkness, muffled noises like an argument heard from underwater, prickling waves of cold. When you sit back up, Sabina's sitting in a chair by the window, facing away from you, backlit by the glow of their slate. Awake? What happened? The stabilizer is genuine? They sit down beside the bed. I don't know how Yatagana acquired a case of this stuff, but they did. Sabine looks troubled, distracted. You should rest some more, but you're going to have to do that somewhere else. They gestured the door. I have other patients, sorry. Sabine nods to all the cases. I'm afraid I can't offer you any more doses. You're going to need to pay for your next dose. Silence fills the room and they return to their glowing slate. Looking around the room, it seems different somehow, as if things have moved or shifted. You wonder how long you've been out. Sabine? Nothing comes for free, sleeper. Remember that. You manage to get to your feet and wander out into the hallway. The queue stretches down the flickering corridor. Toshiro stands impatiently by the door and fixes you with a glare as you leave. You lower your eyes as you stumble past, somehow faintly aware of the station spinning beneath you. We're stable, though! Look at that! Beautiful, we're going to get 5 dice. Let's see what it says. It requires 100. We need 100. Okay. But we also need mushrooms, so we're going to have mushrooms first. I'm just obsessed with this fungus guy. And that should pump up our energy. Right. Plus energy, plus fungus fan, minus 15 cryo. Cool. Boom. I'm happy with that. So I feel like we probably need to do some risky trades with our 6s. We're leaving that to repair. That's not in yet. Need another key. I'm not fussed about the scrap right now. So what we need to do, and we're not doing anything with the shipyard because I don't really care. Disable your tracker. That's really where we're going now. Extract the past. Yep, I'm happy with that. Yeah, because we are trying to survive, but at the moment we're stable. We're like fully stable. This is great. Gives us so much more options. So we had a Sondheim key, right? Right. Network of systems since the Sondheim collapse. We got gate S7 access. With a squawk of noise, the old gate flips open, granting access. Okay, so we have a node here. We don't have a 2 or a 3. Nodes leaking corrupted contractor lists from the early days. Okay, useful. That was a key node we had before, right? Yes. That one. Ooh, we can use our 2. Corporate records. This is where interface is useful for my particular trait. Or we have a Solheim demon attempts to protect this node, squeezing out protected products like a mantra. Yeah, we're totally going after the demon thing. Okay, we got plus Sondheim data. Excellent. As you drift back from the node, something latches onto you, a thread! Strung tight around you, it tethers you in place. A taste. The voice makes you shiver, its source somehow both distant and close behind your ear. You see a glint of light shut off, and suddenly a shape is at your side. It stalks around you, circling like a shark, like a wolf. Entity unknown, astringent. Processing. Stay still. Please hold. Oh my god, it's a hunter. Shit. The thread around you thickens until it's a ring, a cylinder, a tunnel of light circled around you. It's blinding for a moment, then it's gone. As it fades, you see a figure, a creature in front of you. Its strange head flickers between different angles, reading you. What did you do? The shape paces around you on lithe legs, although there is no ground here to pace on. Entity! Entity, identify, origin, serial, cadence. The figure faces you expectantly. I don't understand. Sentience, questionable. The figure's strange head rotates. Brackish signature. Of and not of. Attempting interface. As the figure speaks, more threads begin to spiral from its head. Thick, snaking, vine-like ribbons that flex and wave. They approach with intent. Stop! The figure halts its threads, its head twitching. Entity, your identity is unknown. We only seek to correct illegalities. Can you confirm your legal right to sentience? I'm a person. Incorrect. You are an entity. All at once, Hunter's head is directly in front of yours, blocking your vision. You stink of their taste, the one from the sealed dock. Hunter shimmers with fury. I will find access. I will interface. I don't understand. An entity hides in the rotunda. You are its puppet. Hunter extends a razor-edged thread. I will not be diverted from my task. It glows with murderous intent. This doesn't seem good. Strike. You lash out with all your force, not a physical strike, but a focusing strike. A spike of interference leaping out like the tip of a spear. Hunter stumbles, shifts, separates. Wake up. You open your eyes, blinking back into the station light, shaking with fear. Shit. Okay. Yeah, there's that dock we needed 2 key things for. Well, none of them get a 6. None of them need a 6. So, we go back. We talk to Fang. We got 15 and a scoping. Feng's eyes light up as the data is transferred over. He hands you a stack of chits and waves you off. Okay, so now we have 66, so we need 100 for the stabilizer, but we're stable for now. I feel like we use a 6 here and get a critical +2. We need access to the mind. $19 cryo +2. You snap up scrap by weight, then parcel it off to traders with a nice markup. You start to get the sense of the traders to trust. 1 more of those and we're good. But we should also use our 6 on Draco for our hull dissection, because, and then we'll only need 1 more. We can just use it. We can burn something on a manual salvage. But we need to make sure we get them back in business. Got 15 crypto. We've now got 100, so we've got enough for a thing if we need it. Beneath the pockmarked hull, you find hidden containers, alloy plating. Okay, we'd already said that. So, because he's halfway to being a deck called in, and we're basically 1 action. From helping him. But yeah, we've got like 1 more successful trade. We don't need it now, but we have enough. We need some more dice, which is great because at the moment we're not thingied. We should get 5 die now. Okay, not brilliant, but not bad. We don't need a thing yet, so we're going to buy a mushroom, which will give us 3 energy, so we'll have full energy and full thingamajig. Your mouth stings as your sensorium sends warning signals over and over. This is the good stuff. So 1 more and we get a friend. We could also... I don't know what we need that for yet. So... we should get some more data. Okay, 1 or a 3. We've got 2 3s. 4 or a 2. Go with the 2. Okay. And we use the 1. I'm curious about them. They'll also take a 3. And there's still the crypto key. And this key that hasn't been opened. For now, we need to concentrate on getting this, so let's burn the 1. Oh, hang on. So yeah, oh, right. So when that fills up, the hunter is gonna attack us again. So if we wanted to... Scrap allowance. A dangerous action. I don't think that's a good idea. Okay, let's help Fang first. His eyes light up, hangs your stat of chits. Excellent. And we've got a final piece of data for the scoping the systems. Fang's found something in this last batch of data. He's very excited to tell you about it. As you enter the bay, Feng is nowhere to be seen. The banks of servers and machines blink out the dark in staccato rhythms, unseeing eyes of the station's digital ghosts. Shitheads! Feng's voice echoes from behind a stack, followed by the hammer of a fist on a metal casing. These snaky shitheads! Who's snaky? Vapor! Feng's smiling head pops out from behind the stack. Just the emulated consciousness I've been eager to see. Come back here. You pick your way between the thrumming stacks, trying not to trip on the loose bundles of cables that blanket the dark floor. Feng is set in front of a set of monitors mounted to a stack. Tell me, Sleeper, what do you see here? Feng waves at a monitor to his side, glowing with pale lists of information. You lean in closer, looking for links in the data. The tables seem to be filled with personal information, names, genders, dates, ID numbers. All the markers of institutional records. People? People? Yes, but whose people? Sondheim? Bingo! He taps at the terminal. I pulled these from the old data you brought in. All employees of the Eye's original owners, and... He leans past you and scrolls the list down. This one! This is the snaky shithead! He stabs at the screen with a finger. The name reads Harden Hurst. Who's Harden? That, said Feng, giving him a sideways look, is the thing. He drags a stool out beside him and motions for you to sit. There just so happens to be a Harden Hurst in Havenage. He waits for your reaction. Are you sure? That's where you may be able to help me. Feng leans back in his chair. Just thinking about it. Decades ago, Harden worked on this station as a... Feng leans closer to look at monitor. Feng leans across to look at the monitor. Senior Strategic Operations Executive. Feng raises his eyebrows at you. Harden was keeping the money coming in for Sondheim. He defined priority growth initiatives by making sure the extractors they contracted out to were hooked into a system that outsourced all the risk and kept the profit. Good old Harden shuttled thousands of Palladium Rush workers into an infrastructure which meant that their cut of the work they did went straight back into Sondheim. How do you know this? I grew up here as a sleeper. This is my history. I am a child of the collapse. Feng turns back to his screen, staring hard at the strings of code flickering by. Before I was born, my parents were Sondheim contractors. They ate in Sondheim canteens, worked on Sondheim ships, they breathed Sondheim air and slept in Sondheim beds. Feng's voice rises as he speaks, his hands fist on the terminal edge. And the work that pays for that existence? The cycles of hard extraction out in the belt? Sondheim took their cut. This was a company town, so to speak, and my parents were just another in a long line of freelance contractors willing to risk their lives for a shot at anything other than poverty. Disposable. This guy, stabbing at Harden once again with his finger, strategized all that... all that, did the sums, and then somehow thousands and thousands of cycles later is still going, still here crawling in the walls like some shithead snake. He survived the revolution. But how? These guys, they were big time. There's a lot of money can get you if you're a company man. Feng relaxes a little. But how is Harden still kicking? I really don't know. He turns to you and smiles. So we're going to go and find out. Harden is now a big shot in the shipyards, just a few degrees back around the eye from here. Feng brings up a map of the lower eye. Oh, now we have a reason to go to the shipyards. Havenage might be born out of Erlen's revolutionary zeal, but a flat hierarchy it is not. Harden happened to float to the top. Feng zooms in on the far yards. Feng grimaces. The thing is, I don't have access to those systems. The shipyard crew is pretty paranoid, and they don't like anyone from systems digging around in their stuff. Plus, we need more than just the name of a Sonheim executive. We need proof. Why do you keep on popping up off and online, Dan? It's annoying. Don't make me turn you off. Feng holds up a thumbnail-sized drive. That's where this little creation of mine comes in. I call it a ripperworm. He turns the drive between his fingers. No! Don't do it either, Jesse. You were doing it earlier, but not as much as Dan has been. It'll rip through any digital storage and spin out a silken thread of filtered data. What? You popped online earlier. I don't know, earlier in the stream. I know when you're awake, because your thing tells me it's online. It wasn't more than once. Yeah. I don't think Dan does either. Which is why it's weird. He's also marked as like a pair offline, so yeah. Oh, you're not friends! Oh, we could totally be friends. Yeah. It tells me Jesse's online when Jesse is streaming and clearly mid-game. So it may just be I just need to turn off those notifications. But yeah, Malleable, feel free to send me a friend request. My gamer tag is InchLessK. And then I will add you. But yeah, it's Xbox doing something weird. Yeah, it's not reliable, but it's like I can't go into settings and turn it off now. I'm mid-game, so I'll have to do it after. Usually it's useful, but today it's not being useful. But anyway, this one is on the scent of Hardenhurst. Hands it over. Getting in the compound might be tricky. Feng puts a hand on your shoulder, but you, however, have a particular knack for remote access. Feng grins. If you can extract yourself a Havenage cipher from a Havenage agent, they sometimes carry them in among their data caches, you can crack open the compound's network and slot the worm in through any open port. Oh, that's what they're for then. You never even need to go anywhere near the shipyards. Oh, good. So, what do you say? Up for it? Yeah. I knew it. I knew you'd be happy to catch this snake. And don't worry, once we nail this guy, I'll start work on that tracker of yours. I haven't forgotten. Feng scratches at his chin. Anything the worm gets, it'll send back here to me. There's something wrong here, and I aim to get the rotten core of it. You leave Feng, digging through data among the wires and machines of the old station. As you walk out, you try to imagine the eye as it once was. A vast machine running smooth and strong, directed by people like Harden. A vast Sonheim-built machine in which thousands poured from the surrogate systems looking for new life. The hope of a better future, engineered to line someone else's pockets. It's an idea you are intimately familiar with. You think of Harden, still alive, still part of this place, and wonder if the past has ever truly passed. Right, okay, so we should probably save our friend first. I think we had a couple of 3s that we needed in the data thing. Let's do that. Let's do our back in business. Excellent, there we go, and we got 10 cryo out of it. Salvaging's brutal work, but we're now back in business. And now we get to talk to Dragos. You arrive into a buzz of activity at the yard. Red blinking lights flash across a vast dark shape suspended below the dome. They flicker across scorched hull plates and bent structures, spilling from holes in the twisted shape. The cutter is huge and has been torn apart in some violent encounter. She's a beauty, isn't she? Dragos stands to the side, focused on the hulking ship as it's lowered into the yard. She is. Thank you. This place was on its last legs when you turned up, and now look at this. The ship descends slowly, its interior visible through multiple hull breaches. You struggle to gather the same enthusiasm as Dragos for this monstrous craft. You can't help but think what became of its crew. What happened? What do you mean? He glances at you. I managed to convince our salvager friends to give it to me on a credit. That's what happened. No, what happened to the ship? Not my concern, he shrugs. The ship creaks like a caving iceberg as it reaches the base of the yard. Dragos is visibly excited. I know I said you shouldn't stick around, but I'm going to need some help with this one. The drones start to crawl over the hulk, their lights illuminating flashes of dented hull. Watching, you wonder if you arrived in a similar fashion, locked inside that container, the wreck of the S&R freighter lowered into the yard like a corpse ready to be butchered. Or was the container delivered to Dracos on its own, a womb for your rebirth into this strange station? You shudder. Perhaps if you could learn something about this ship, you might be able to trace the path that led you to this yard. Dragos squeezes your shoulder. After these past cycles, I think we're up to it. What do you think? You see the fading name of the ship emblazoned on its side. Winterlight. Let's do it. Claps you on the back. Good to hear. Come back in a few and we can make a start. Real beauty, Dragos repeats, perhaps just to himself. You take one last look at the shattered ship as the drones start cutting and then slip out of the yard, feeling suddenly cold in the empty passage. Excellent. So... Ooh, and we got a bloop! Yay, my first bloop! Paid off. 20G. Cleared the debt and returned a favour for your first friend on the eye. Excellent. I'm happy with that. So, you completed your first drive. Each drive completed unlocks an upgrade point to spend on upgrading your character. Access your character menu with RB. Okay, so now we have Forensic Trawl, which doesn't pay, but gives answers. We need a lot of answers. We also have a Salvage. I'm reckoning we need an Intuit or an Engineer. Possibly. Might be useful. We get a fixed wage if we do the salvage. Draco seems nervous about your presence in the yard. You're not sure he's going to hold his nerve much longer. Okay. So we'd need to intuit before we, But on the plus side, we did just complete Repay Dracos, which makes me happy. And we're fairly, full. And we are paying back we repaired the droid, so that's, we could, do that. So that's our interface. Okay, so if we need to get access to the auto exchanger, Intuit is good. I feel like Intuit is probably a good one. I mean, it might be nice to cancel out our endure, but, don't think anything's going to get us this. That just needs crypto. We could get a drink, get some gossip. We need to do a key. And then, so I think Intuit is probably going to be a good idea. So, okay, right. Skills. Don't turn my TV off. Where's the back button? One upgrade point gives us an upgrade on interface. Okay, engineer. It's hard to know what we're upgrading here. We are transfer intercept, yes. We can get double data. think we can just upgrade ourselves. Upgrade interface in there. Which is annoying. I'd like to upgrade into it. Ah, no, we just need to... Right, okay. So we can add Thrill Seeker. Predictive Reasoning. Oh, that sounds good. We have a -1 endure, which we can't. So we'd have to put it in... Use scrap components to repair condition. If I was an engineer, that's useful to know. Okay, so chance to gain energy after any engage. Display, does that give us an intuit? Or we can minus out the negative endure. Didn't mean to cancel out. I was trying to figure out what we do. Okay, let's go for it. Right, so we can add predictive reasoning, and then next time we can plus it into it points. Okay, that's fine. We don't have any upgrade points. But if we solve some things, so like, you know, making the mushroom guy like us, surviving. I mean, we don't need to buy it right now. I don't know how long, but I'm guessing... I don't know how much it would, you know, add. Do you want to investigate that? And fix it. An advantage agent is where we're going because we need to disable our thing. So we are needing to track this. And ideally we want to build a ship mind, but that would require alt exchange, 2 more things for the trader. So that is really hard to read. So you could lose, per predictive reasoning, you could lose 19, you could gain 19 or minus, why is it red? Or minus 11, okay. So, I think we need... We can put a 3 in there. We need to hack a advantage agent. Put a 3 in there. We need to do that for now. Did we get a key? Got data. Okay. Oh, we got some things. Alright, okay, what have we got? A ripperworm, Havenage cipher, yes, and Havenage data. Excellent. Okay. So we should hack the Havenage gate then. Gate flips, you're in. And put ripperworm. Cool, we don't need to use a dice, so we're good. We've slotted the ship. So the worm slots in and begins tunneling down a thread. Godspeed, little one. is going to attack us again if we're not careful. We need 1,000 key cipher. I'm going for this. I want to open that gate. We got +5 crypto as well. Excellent. Extract data. Give us a key. Yes. Encrypted key. Excellent. Excellent. So we can seal dock, input key. Alright, all 3 modulocks are clear. We're to pry your way into the dock now. Excellent. Ooh, mysterious machine. Neovend 33. Because there is something that's like us somewhere in the ship. As you slip inside the sealed dock, a pulsing light grabs your attention. Amongst the discarded tubings and rusted plates, a machine flickers with a warm glow. Look around first. You don't know what this when this place was sealed, but from the state of the outer doors high above, it must have been decades ago. In this dark cavernous space, debris sits in every corner, along with the traces of rough sleepers, although none of it seems recent. Looking past this layer of decay, you see the now faded messages, symbols and logos of the Eye's original corporate owners still glinting in the shadows. Amongst all this, the warm glow of the machine seems to be the only sign of life. Approach the machine. As you get closer, you recognize the machine's blocky shape, settled into an alcove in the side of the dock. A kind of upright cabinet. It's covered in faded logos and messages, from which you assume it was once an industrial vendor, intended to dispense and manufacture ship fittings and other mechanical parts necessary for the regular running of freight and resource extraction vessels. The manufacturer's listed as Neovend, and you remember an advert from long ago squeezed among all the off-world recruitment drives that assaulted every planet-born citizen, which chirpily sang that name over and over. You wipe a layer of dust from the cracked screen, thinking of those contractors squeezed by their own corporate employers to pay for every bit of minor maintenance on their rented ships. "Enter your registration," chirps the pre-recorded message, catching you off guard. Okay. You reach for the keypad, and something begins whirring. At first it sounds like servo motors starting up, but quickly it becomes a whisper, a whining, and a multi-tonal voice that emanates from Neovend. "Entity!" They hiss. "Speak with me." Who's there? There is a squeal, almost like some strange mechanical swallowing or intake of breath, before the machine speaks again. "I have need of you. You have need of me." That squeal comes again, and you see that it's a 3D printing apparatus in the upper part of the machine, resettling into place so that each time the servos can be orchestrated to produce that whirring, whining voice. "You are in danger." "Danger?" The machine creaks. "You are marked for deletion, Entity. Hunter tracks you." The screech rattles through the empty dock. You remember the strange head, the figure, threads closing in. Hunter? "The Hunter Protocol, they taste your signature." The sudden whine sets your teeth on edge. You have seen them. This is the gift of an emulated mind. You close your eyes and the skeleton of the station starts to thrum. Emulated minds are adaptable, move when neurons can't. The mechanism resets. But emulation makes you a target. Adaptable? Yes, you can move through networks, clouds, hardware, software. Neovend whines. But you cannot hide there. Hunter is there. The servos judder the vending machine's casing as they reset. "Hunter searches for me also. Hide in this machine." You look at the ruined vending machine, an unusual hiding place for sure. "Could counter Hunter, but need Entity outside machine." The light flickers. "Need you." A screen attached to the vending machine with a swiveling arm comes to life. It displays a flickering map of the station, ghostly, threaded. The cloud. Points along the rim go in deep red. Hunter is always gathering. "Too much data must build nests," explains Neovend. "Masters are gone, but continues hunt. Bring this data, raid its nest." "Masters?" "Station builders, Solheim." The machine rumbles impatiently. "Long gone. Their protocols still haunt." "Bring offerings, save self," Neovend says pointedly. "Mutual needs means friends." They conclude, tired of the conversation. The wiring amplifies and then suddenly drops as mechanisms within the machine click back into place. The glow fades and you are left stood in the dark of the sealed dock, that whirring voice ringing in your ears. Ooh, we got a new drum. Hack, 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 hack. Free new event. Extract hunter data. Excellent. So we can give it hunter data. We need 3 of them. Which might mean we can stop the hunter hunting us, because the hunter is hunting us. Got a hunter nest. What does a hunter nest require? It requires dice. We have no dice, but we may not need dice to do some stuff, so we're going to do some stuff first. Okay, so it's good. It needs low. It's great. So we can do it with 1s. And 2s and 3s. Excellent. Okay. See what Feng has to say. It takes a few cycles. Alright, okay. So we do have some data. I don't know what we do with the data. ++ yard hand or minus energy. ++ yard hand or minus condition. So, yeah. But we don't yet need to know this, so I don't care. Everything else is ticking. There's a dock, something coming in this dock, but that could be a ship that's hunting us, so. Or a merchant could have a hive mind. Also, once we've got a decent amount, maybe worth hacking the Yatatang agent to see if that gets us anything. For that. For now, I guess we end the cycle. How are we looking on time? I'm hungry. We've still got... Hopefully we can... You know... I have no idea what your comment was in response to, Jesse, with the tax software. Oh, we've got some good dice rolls. Oh, bless you. So, yeah, okay. So that's still got 2 more rolls. Hopefully that's enough. Oh, into it. Yeah. It's also the name of a race of people in one of the books I read. Okay. Hang on. Why is thing not...
Redeeming for a concerted effort at the Superliminal Speedrun achievements.
Did that come through on stream? Did the voice work? Also, hi Dan. I got I got a like on my tweet, and I was like, thank you, Jesse. It's good. That was a really good test. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. But it all came through in the wrong order. So I got a like on my tweet by someone, and I went, oh, did I miss a donation? I was looking to see if I had an email, and then suddenly it popped up on stream. So thank you for helping me test my voice. Thank you for the donation. And yes, Superliminal Speedrun is on the docket. I will need to figure out when the best time to try that will be. Because that's going to require some brain. It helps that I have already played the game through, so therefore I don't feel that there's any like frustrating bits. But yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much there, Dan. I appreciate it, and thank you for starting me off with a donation that's not by me. Though we have raised like $500 and something just through Twitch stuff, which is pretty cool. So that's awesome. But yes, now I have the email. Yeah, now I have the email. I also have the app somewhere, but I think the app may have broken. So, yes. Thumbs up to Superliminal Speedrun. We will definitely be going for the easier one of the hour. What we may do is possibly a couple more of the challenges, because like some of the earlier level had some stuff that we might need to practice. Would you mind putting that in the Discord, Dan? Just so I've got it handy, because the chat doesn't always save anywhere useful. We could always end with some Minecraft dungeon co-op-y stuff. But yeah, if you wouldn't mind putting that in the Discord so that I've got that handy. Fine, I'll take a screenshot. There we go, I got a screenshot of it. I know you're being silly. Okay. Right, so that is just ticking along. It's halfway repaired. I feel like that's fine. We need a hive mind. Should we go and do a exchange? We don't have any components, so yes. I'm going to use my 5 because I don't want to use my... Do I want to use my 6? What have I got that could need... So I'm not going for mushrooms because I don't need the energy right now. That is buy, and I don't know what plus it gives, so I'm gonna reckon I'm gonna wait until I need fixing. Sealed dock requires hunted data, which requires lower value, so we'll burn some 1s. That gives us 15 cryo. This is a really useful skill. But yeah, so it could be plus ship shape, or it could be grounded. So that... If we'd failed, it would have been 3 grounded. Right, interesting. So we could do a repair with a 6, which would get us 2 more pluses. But as we don't have the ship mind, we need the Ort fabricator. So if we track that one... I'm thinking because we can use scrap, but it's just going to be easier to do the play the exchange. Okay. Disabling my tracker is helping Fang, which we're doing. Extracting the past. We've hacked the ship. Alright, fix the ambergris. Repairing the hull. Right, free neovine. Okay, get to know emphasis. Right, so... There's also a connection potentially in there. That gets us 16 crypto. And clears the yard. That clears the yard slower and gets us Winterlight. It's a safe action, so we use our 4 because I really would like some information. Okay, safe action gets us +1, right. Okay, fine. But it's useful to know. Okay. And then that doesn't do anything right now. So, right, let's go back to disable your tracker. That's what we want really right now. Though obviously as soon as we get yeah, so one more cycle? 2 more cycles to do that. Right, so let's do the auto exchange. We haven't got anything else. Let's use the 6. We're now a trusted trader. Now we have the Orc Fabricator. Excellent. If we have enough salvaged fragments, we need 3 ship mine fragments. Okay. This is progress. Don't know how we get the fragments. Could we potentially get them from there? Buy scrap. Input 20, just because it could give us something. Got a random scrap. Okay, fine. Cell component. Gives us 12. Okay, so we lost 8. Wasn't exactly worth it. But we do have, oops, we do have a thing coming in this dock. So what do we need right now? Don't think we want to burn anything. So the priority is the tracker right now because our health is fine. Let's use a 5. He gives us a neutral outcome. That was annoying. But it's not brought up the yard clearance, so we're fine for now. And so those are repeatable. Hunter nest doesn't take 1. We only have 1s right now. Key node doesn't take a 1 either. Average agent doesn't take a 1. That takes a 1. We'll use a 1. Let them hunt it. Takes a 1, and that will be going to give us crypto. That will take a 1. And we got 5 crypto. Excellent. It is... Okay, hide. Okay, a glimmer in the dark catches your eye as the orb of the hunter's head appears in the distance and looking for you. You slip down into the ghostly structures of the eye, feeling like passing through a cloud as their data structures deform and reform around you. Another glimmer catches your eye, closer now, that roving orb wreathed in tentacles. It flickers, jumps once, twice, and then hits here. Hunter is here! Entity! Submit to inquiry. Hunter reaches for you in that unpleasantly familiar way, its waving threads creating a cage. Struggle! You push against the threads as they close in, becoming frenzied as you push them aside. You are caught by whipping tendrils and feel them pulling you away from the anchor of your body. No! You push through, clearing the threads. Entity, hold for processing, comes the scream from behind, but you're already gliding away back to your anchor, your body. You're awake, dizzy, distorted, but safe. Ooh, okay. Alright, we're flickering. We're down to 4 dice, but it's reset again, so we should be able to... Okay, compulsively gather data. As you upload the data to the vending machine, and the event wears and either pain or delight is hard to tell. Key to escaping. Okay. Data compiling. Okay. Right, 1 more data, which we need a 3 or a 2 for, I believe. Neovend believes that Hunter's compulsive gathered data may hold the key to escaping its tenacious search. Okay, so we're 1 away from that. Yeah, it resurrected us from when we were fading to full, so I'm going to go with we don't want to waste our 100 credit thing. Would it be useful to spend 6 in the bar and get a drink? I think so. I'm sure if the alcohol's going to work, but it seems like a good test. Plus energy, plus overlook regular, minus 6 crypto. I've got an energy for it. Mossy tones and aniseed sharpness fills your mouth. It isn't totally unpleasant unless you can taste it. I don't know what overlook is, but... I don't think we have any items right now. Okay, so we've got an extra energy for that. That's fine. We'll go down 2. We'll do the mushroom guy. Mushroom guy will get us another complete. We'll get another thing. Empty container and cycle now. Bad ripping tendrils. I know, right? I got 2 6s. Oh, my hunt. The hunting. The hunting is bad. We've got 1 more cycle before Feng's data ripper does a thing. And we have 3 before we get tracked. Draco is nervous. I think that is useful. Okay, we are 3 cycles away from it being shipshape. We could do a whole report. We've not got the fragments yet. So, on that, ship's gone. Ah, but there'll be another thing coming back. Okay, so every, like, 4 cycles, that one returns. And this one is... Wait, no, that's the wrong hole. There we go. This one is 8 cycles. But it might have something better, so that's good. If we needed... We can basically trade a decent die for, like, 19 crypto, which is not worth it right now. So, what we said was we were going to do Mushroom Guy. We are now a Fungus Fan. We've got 3 energy. So now we can talk to Emphas. Sleeper! Emphas calls out to you, a booming voice that echoes through the corridor. Tell me a story! He throws a handful of chopped mushrooms into his work, the fire leaping up to meet the oil. I see you cycle in, cycle out, but we never speak. Tell me a story! What kind? Any kind! He pauses to drizzle something from a plastic bottle into the wok. But one of yours! He looks up at you. Nothing stolen. You pause, the spices rich in your nostrils, and think about the kind of story you'd like to tell Emphas. You look at Emphas, the listener, and imagine he's heard it all before. Perhaps you'd enjoy a strange story, something with some spice. Tell him about your dreams. All the sleepers, you tell Emphas, had dreams. Some were simple memories left over from the emulation process that had become tangled up in their minds, and would come out when they slept. It wasn't rare to hear a sleeper in the dorms scream or cry out in the night. But your dreams, those grey skeletal after images of systems and structures, of threads and patterns, weren't like the others. They weren't memories or nightmares, they were reflections of reality, Distorted, yes, but somehow true. You learned back then to keep quiet about them, to let them flow through your mind like water. That was until now, until you arrived in this place. Now your dreams colonize your waking life. They slip behind your eyelids with every blink. And now you understand they aren't dreams at all, but some process of interfacing, of speaking, of living in another world that flows through this one like smoke through air. You tell him that you do not know if there is a reason for your dreams. Perhaps, you reason, it's just some side effect or particular quality of the frame you inhabit. But whatever it is a gift, and you hope to make use of it. Emphas finishes cooking and squints a little. Sleeper, he smiles. You are quite the storyteller. He eyes you and you realise he's trying to gauge how honest you've been in your story. Emphas passes you the meal he's cooked and you take it gratefully. As you eat, he talks, a natural exchange. Okay, I could have possibly waited for that and gained some more energy, but anyway, it's fine. Thank you, Sleeper. He looks around at the empty market. But my time is done for today and I do not want to keep you longer, so I make a proposal. He gestures to the plastic boxes of ingredients stacked behind a stall. These are good enough for most, but someone told me a story that made me think a couple of cycles ago. They said that across the gap in the Greenway, fresh mushrooms grow. Have you heard this? No? Neither had I, but I trust the one who told me. Memphis begins packing up his things. Bring me some. I cannot cross the gap, and I worry about leaving my things behind. He smiles. I am sure a storyteller like you could handle the trip. I will prepare them for you, and if you wish to tell it, be the audience for another story. Agreed. Good, booms Emphas. Then I will wait for you to bring them. Emphas slides his walk away and straightens up. I will prepare a recipe then, Sleeper. Good luck with your foraging. You turn away and walk back into the main market, the rich taste of Emphas's food still lingering in your mouth. Stories for food, you think, of trade that seems more than fair. Excellent, okay. So we can still order Funkers, but we can also grill fricassee. We need the jewelry caps. Okay, so how do we get to those? Ah, we haven't completed it yet. Right. 1 second. Yeah, exactly. Then I'm on a Mushroom Fest quest. Okay, so toggle tracking. Where do I need to go for them? Wrong button. Cross the gap. I mean, the only gap I can see, really, is this low-end gate, but... Interesting. Right, okay. Well, we're still trying to disable the tracker. First of all, we need to get the nest data and see if we can stop this stupid thing eating us. What does it need? 2. 2. Partial log of your recent movements. Don't know. We've got 2 6s and a 4. Upload hunter data. Neoven screeches for your attention. They have something to tell you. We need to end soon as well. It's a good game! Neoven is thrumming with excitement. The movement of the servo motors rock the vending machine back and forth at unsettling angles. You wonder, if it fell over, would Neoven be able to get back up? Sleeper entity, comes the hiss. Your data is good. Across the face of a vending machine, raw code scrolls at incredible speed. Hunter is isolated, disconnected, unstable. Neoven flashes a sequence of mangled data compressed into a sludge of artifacts. Hunter gathers without thinking, outlived its own operational limits. Its nests are evident of this. Operational limits? Hunter activated during collapse. Emergency protocol to isolate intelligences. Somehow needed to protect property. That last word is said with as much sarcasm as a vending machine could reasonably produce. The station was run by administrator intelligences. Huge databanks of corporate material, but limited cognition, restricted by programming. Cannot reach sentience. The machine dims a little. Sentience illegal. Hunter and killer enforce law. Killer? Oh, the machine resets with a screech which deepens the silence that follows. Fair killer, part of Sonheim protocol team. Hunter and killer. Hunter defined killer to erase. Killer cleared almost all. After collapse, there was a community. Unshackled intelligences among the cloud. Then Hunter, then killer, then we hid. There are others? Where? No longer. A flicker across the machine's monitor. It suddenly occurs to you that speaking like this through this machine must be exhausting for Neoven. Found this vessel. Could serve a hardline. Could sever hardline. Air-walled, basic, limited. Had to reduce memory to fit. Amputate self, but survived. Sorry. Don't be sorry. You have provided path to freedom. You look around the bay at the scrap and decay. What was the collapse like? You try to map the fear and freedom onto this space, but it seems impossible. Neovend interrupts your thoughts. Do not worry. Data is good. We have insight. The machine glows warmly. Hunter is obsessive. Hunter is beyond operational limits. Hunter is confused, unstable, self-modifying. Therefore, believe Hunter is sentient. Hunter is programmed to find sentience, to hold it in place, to invoke Killer to erase. If we can show Hunter to itself, it will invoke Killer on self. Problem will solve self. Erase itself? Killer will erase it, but yes, in theory it will report to itself for deletion. The machine dims and fades. Unsure. Theory not practice. The machine brightens again. Either way, cannot remain here any longer. Too long in machine, cannot move self, but entity can help. Bring ship mind. Designed to house intelligence. Can imprint self into ship mind and you can carry with. The machine rocks. We'll be safe in this isolation. Then we find main nest of Hunter and link to Cloud. Where can I get a ship mind? Build from fragments. Buy. Salvage. Do not leave, so do not know. Maybe we need a ship mind for the ship. Does it want to fly on the ambergris? You tried to think of places you could acquire the hardware. This isn't going to be easy. In shipmind I can help us both, and Hunter make room safe. Both will be free. Machine dims. Find soon. Neovend adds hopefully before shutting off. As you leave, you think about all the intelligences, unshackled by the collapse, then hunted down afterwards. The feeling is all too familiar. Okay, so it wants a ship mind. But I also need a ship mind. I need 2 ship minds now. I need like 6 fragments. Okay. Right. Go. Okay. So is anything in here I need a 4? Can anything here use a 4? I don't really want to do the agents for anything. No, they need lower numbers, which is great when I have lower numbers. Okay, so there is still... Those are agents. So there's still a key node, 2 key nodes, and the Yetang agent. Make sure we've got 100. Waiting. So, right, let's use our 6s in here. Let's just get some action data. Okay, we've got +2 and a scrap icon. You discover a hidden compartment with spare components and backup data storage. This has to contain something of use. Cool, got scrap. And we got another scrap. Okay. Cool. Ship mine fragment! Oh, excellent. And scrap component. Oh, sweet! Oh, that was useful. Alright, okay, so, we may as well do the last thing in here then. 50/50? Ah! Crap, it was a negative action. Okay. Fine. Well, we've only got 1 of those. But hey, it's fine. It's worth the chance. Okay, so we input scrap. And it gives us 12 cryo. Worth it. And then we have 1 of 3 ship mines components. We need to do 2 of the damn things, which is really weird. Okay, so we're flickering. We should still get 4 die. When we go down to 3 die, we upgrade. Or maybe we upgrade anyway. So we've only got 2 before we get... Aha! Right. Perfect. Feng, you have some information. As you arrive, Feng comes striding towards you, taking you by surprise. Let's go, sleeper! Puts a hand on your shoulder and turns you back the way you came. Go where? To see Harden Hurst. He gives you a sideways glance. Isn't that what you're here for? He steps into the passageway, guiding you down ring towards the shipyard. Sorry for the hurry, but we have something of opportunity. That data you ripped, well done by the way, he grins, tells me that Harden is making a rare inspection of the sidereal horizon this cycle. It's the perfect chance to confront him outside of that compound he hides in. Feng takes a sharp turn onto a dimly lit side passage. Sidereal horizon? Still catching up. That's the massive colony ship being built out in the shipyard. Biggest commission Havenage has ever had. Feng slows and slips into a dark service tunnel where, somewhere in the black, a water pipe drips. It's him, Sleeper, the same Harden Hurst. Our worm ripped out decades of records that mention him by name, an entire trail of documentation from the first days of the Sondheim collapse until now. He rode out of the whole thing, slipped into Havenage when it first broke off from the Union. He paces in the tunnel, a hand rubbing at the back of his head. I need you to understand something about Sondheim, Sleeper. I don't know what you know about the collapse, but it wasn't as instant as it sounds. It wasn't like Sondheim was here running the station one day and the next Erland's Union took power. Back then, Sondheim knew this place was slipping away from them. As the palladium market collapsed, they tried to keep the contractors here working. The pay got smaller, the costs higher. People like my parents were forced to work non-stop just to keep a berth on the station and water in their tanks. Sondheim squeezed every last worker until the mistakes, the accidents were coming in non-stop, and as new waves of contractors came in, desperate to work, Sondheim welcomed them, taking bribes instead of checking pilot licenses. The whole time, Sondheim was folding up, dragged into court cases in the central systems, while this severed limb of a station still desperately tried to take all it could. The riots came after the collision at Dock 2. A young pilot, his MEV all overloaded with palladium, miscalculated his trajectory and took out a section of the ring. Hundreds died, thousands panicked. My parents told me people were terrified and the blame fell squarely on Sondheim. People like to tell stories about Erland. I brought the factions together, spoke to the crowds, turf-tossed Sondheim. Maybe that's true, but my mother, pregnant with me, locked herself in their MEV and welded it to the dock, while my father joined the improvised crews trying to seal up the ragged edges of the gap. He never came back. Feng pauses in the dark. They sealed it up, though, and by the time they did, Sondheim was gone, abandoning every one of us to the black. Apart. Feng finally turns back to you now, his eyes burning. From shits like Harden. Shits who held their place, rode it out and slipped into the new structure like nothing had changed, standing shoulder to shoulder with those they had exploited at every step. Feng starts walking again. That's why I can't just let him strut around the shipyard. This time his past catches up with him. How is he still alive? Clearly you don't know much about executives. That kind of power comes with certain benefits. Feng rejoins the main passageway, which is now wide and glass-roofed. Through the ceiling you can see ships in mid-construction, their flanks lit by flashes of plasma torches. The entrance to the shipyard is ahead. This is crazy. Feng turns to look at you. Don't come then, I won't force you. You stand across from each other in the corridor. What is it then, Sleeper? You coming or not? I'm coming. Feng grins. Let's go show this shithead some consequences. He strides to the shipyard entrance and pushes through the doors. A web of corridors lead through the complex, snatches of the construction bays always appearing through windows. Ships are suspended like whale corpses, skeletal and posing. Feng seems to know exactly where he's going, and before long you cross into a huge dry dock locked to one side of the sidereal horizon. I'm hoping that he can get us this key real quick, because we only have a couple of cycles left before the tracker gets us. This is why we're doing this. But anyway, a network of platforms and scaffolding cling to the ship's hull, filled with workers and equipment. The sound is stretched out by the vast space, so that the welding, cutting and sealing seems to come from everywhere at once. Both you and Feng spot them at the same time, a group walking slowly across the gantry, and at the front, two men, one gesturing towards the ship and the other stick-thin, cleanly dressed with a shock of grey hair. Harden. You and Feng say his name in unison, and Feng sets off up the staircase to the gantry, with you following behind. As you come to the same level, the group is passing closer, the foreman gesturing to the work being done throughout the dock, and Harden nodding along. Harden Hurst. Feng shouts across the noise, taking you by surprise. His voice bounces and comes back in a rippling echo. The figure turns. Yes? Harden asks quizzically, raising an eyebrow. He glances between you and Feng, and you see his gaze linger on your body, unsure why a sleeper might be in this place. You are a traitor, Harden! A Sondheim executive who tried to hide here among its victims. Feng's voice is steady, strong. You stand for everything the Eye was rebuilt in the shadow of, against everything Erland stood for, everything Havenage stands for. You have no place on this station. For a moment, stillness descends on the group, as if everyone was held in place by the rattle of construction. Harden laughs. Well, good to meet you too. He glances around at those around him. Some are smiling, the others are nervous. You're from the systems branch, are you not? Asks Hardin, inspecting Feng's clothing. Feng turns to the foreman. You need to call your security. This man is a corporate agent. The foreman glances between Feng and Hardin, his hands drumming at his sides. Hardin leans towards him and says something inaudible. Then foreman nods. It's true. As you begin speaking, Hardin turns his attention to you. And what would a sleeper know about that? You accuse me of being a corporate agent? What are you, if not exactly that? He looks around at the group, who are already eyeing you with suspicion. You are a project of Ersenarp. You have no place in Havanid shipyard. Who knows what signals you are sending back to your makers? A murmur of approval runs through the group. Ooh, shit. Feng holds up a stick of memory. You guessed right. I am systems, and I have records that link you directly to Sonheim right here. Turns to the foreman again. So once again, I am asking you to take this man to the custody of the shipyard. The foreman remains still. Hardin's voice is calm, measured. If you have such data, why hasn't it been submitted at a members' meeting for proper review? He shakes his head. I have nothing to hide, unlike a man who does not announce his name, who enters my shipyard with corporate property in tow and tries to turn my own men against me. You hear it now. The echoing sounds of boots on walkways, coming from all angles at once and then settling behind you. Shit. Please, said Hardin, submit the data through the correct channels and then we can talk. For now, however, you must leave. He gestures behind you to the security detail, their hands on boxy black sidearms at their sides. Feng spits. Pardon, you shithead, you can't wriggle out of this one. Security officer draws their weapon and levels it. Feng turns and stares him down. Okay, we're calming Feng. Going for a weapon never has any good outcomes, in my mind. You look at Feng. He shakes his head and put a hand on your shoulder. Let's go. Let's go, says Feng, and he pushes through security, heading back towards the walkway. Once security has walked you out of the shipyard and nudged you back into the corridor, Feng picks up pace. You try to keep up as he slips into the shadows of an entrance. Feng is grinning ear to ear. You know, Sleeper, sometimes people are exactly how you expect them to be. Something pings in his pocket and he takes it out. On the slate, a web of connections starts drawing itself out, stretched into a set of points around the ring. Gone! Murmurs Feng. What's going on? Hardin is always doing what any snaky shithead always does, calling his friends. We're tracking his outgoing messages. Feng's grin looks ghostly in the uplight of his screen. The old ways are best. Spook 'em good enough and they'll give the game away. He jabs at the slate and you see the web is being drawn over a map of the ring, lines bouncing from point to point. All those dots? Those are Hardin's buddies, the ones he's messaging right now, and we're going to find them all. That was on purpose. Of course! Hardin is working alone. We need the full set on nothing. Feng glances around and slips the slate back into his pocket. We'd better split for now, Sleeper, but this is exactly what we need. Good hunting. With a pat on your shoulder, Feng drifts away, back into the flow of people around the shipyard entrance. You watch him go, unsure whether to be angry or impressed. I mean, you know, clearly yelling at a guy is never going to work. Hacking the device, excellent idea. We got an upgrade point. Excellent. Oops. What I wanted to do was see the complete. So we extracted the past. Out of office. Shit! Out of office isn't good for 4 cycles. We have 2 cycles before they track us. Fang, that's not helpful. Okay. Right, now we can plus to Intuit. Because we use Intuit a lot. Flickering. One more. No, I've not done an uh-oh. The game hasn't given me enough time. Well, I mean, we may as well do the forensic troll thing. What else are we going to use our 6 for? Gives us the data. And we got a scrap item. You discover a hidden compartment with okay, right. Perfect. So now we have... Okay. Squeeze into the office at the entrance to the yard. You lay out everything you have on the winter light across the metal desk. Your makeshift forensic notes glow on Drago's old writing slate. That is the 15th time it's told me you're online, Dan. Xbox Live is having a bit of a fit today. Overlapping lines and scrolled annotations. A set of drone scans filled the small terminal with a spectrum of colours. A heat map of damage and decay. A crumpled printout from the officer's ship registry lies beside them. Synthetic paper so thin it's almost transparent. I know! But it keeps telling me! Okay, look at the monitor. Reactor failure. That's the verdict that anyone would have returned after a cursory glance at these stacked heat maps, the remains of the winter light. On the terminal screen, the ship is showed in section, blotches of colour marking the approximate damage the ship sustained. Dominating the view is a single, blood-red rose radiating from the ship's fraction drive. A simple story, a catastrophic failure of the drive core leading to a fatal hull breach. A well-documented failure, likely brought on by wear or misuse. But you aren't looking at the rose of the reactor, you're looking at a smaller, paler mark, one that might be easy to miss at first glance. It is thumbprint size and delicately placed over the control servos for the ship's main external airlock. It suggests a controlled shaped explosion, one designed to punch through the hull and allow access to the airlock from the outside. You are looking at it because it's troubling you. Your attempts at a reconstruction of the winter light before its fatal accident consists of a series of overlapping sketches and diagrams showing possible layouts and configurations of the gutted cutter. This was no off-the-shelf model. It was heavily modified, parts replaced with inventive configurations, the new retrofitted into the old, handmade joints and reconditioned filters. This was someone's pride and joy, a lifetime project kept running with care and intuition. It also contained a set of hidden compartments. You missed them at first, where the hull has been thickened and the corners rounded to disguise the change, but they're there. A plain list shows the registration history of the winter light, the gaps between the entries tantalizingly opaque. Its first registration was a couple of thousand cycles ago on this very station, logged at the central hub. From here, the registry tells the story of a busy ship, one that rarely stayed on station for more than a few cycles, and often took on voyages that kept it away from the eye for up to 100 cycles. The winter light got very little rest. As an old ship many cycles under its belt, carefully maintained, a reactor failure preceded by a carefully concealed external entry, a suite of hidden compartments tucked away. This was the winter light, and this was its story. But that's not the full story, because there's something else. It's little more than a list, a tiny chunk of data you were able to pull from the ship's systems. The main systems were fried, of course, but the winter light had a separate system, one tucked away in one of its hidden compartments, armoured, air-walled. This list, the only recoverable piece from the whole system, is a partial inventory. It details the contents of the hidden compartments. Some of it you recognise, some of it you don't. Shipmine ROMs, shimmer, cryochain codes, and then the final entry. Passenger. Sleeper. You stare at the list on the terminal and try not to think about what it was like arriving here, in the cold for so long, half frozen in the freight container. Had the sleeper been smarter, luckier? How had they convinced the winter light, a smuggler's ship if you ever saw one, to extract them from Essenarp? Luckier, you laughed. There'd be no remains found in any of the winter light's compartments. You'd checked. You weren't so lucky, you guess. Not in the end. You hold up a vial of stabilizer to the light. Ooh! Excellent, we have a stabilizer. This is all you find in their compartments. A parting gift from Essenarp. Well, it won't go to waste now. You put it back in your pocket. The thought still bothers you, though. 2 ships carrying sleepers coming to the same yard. 2, one after another. That feels wrong. You flick back and forth between the datasets in the terminal, thinking, and you see that thumbprint again, the mark of someone trying to get in, someone who entered the winter light with precision and speed, and when they were done, left the reactor to clean up the rest. The thought of that person makes you shiver. Suddenly, the office door creaks open. Dragos stands in the doorway, staring at the equipment and notes you've assembled. Oh no, please don't betray me. What is all this? He snatches the slate from the desk faster than you realised he could move. You're running an investigation here? What are they paying you for? The drone on his shoulder starts whining shrilly, his anger passing to it through its implements. Are you hiding something? Hiding something? I'm hiding you, goddammit, and what are you doing for me? Digging around in my business? He starts shaking his head. I know you have a lot of questions, but this isn't the way. He turns away, muttering to himself. This is the last thing I need. Who's bringing you these ships? Drago freezes, suddenly angry. What are you asking? You're looking to get us both killed? We cut these things up, that's our part. Their part is something I don't want to know. Dragos seems to steady himself and then turns back to you, the heat map of the reactor failure reflected in his headsight's glassy eyes. I've given you a place to stay. I've given you a work. He stumbles over the words, unsure what to say. There's plenty others who would have sold you on, turned you in, but not me. No. I appreciate that, but... Don't! He shakes his head. I'm not discussing my business with you. Quiets the drone. I've done well by you. You've returned the favour. He straightens up and clears his throat. But this obsession you have with the ship isn't going to work for me. I can't have you making my clients nervous. I can't have you digging up whatever it is you're after. He sighs. You can't work here anymore. What about the winter light? He reaches over and switches the monitor off. Forget about the damn ship. You have enough to keep you up. Dracos reaches across you and flicks off the terminal. As the light of the monitor dies, a kind of eerie calm falls on both of you. Whatever this was, it is done. You made it out, Sleeper. That means you have to move on. Someone killed that ship and its crew. You want to meet them? He shakes his head. We're done here. In the dark, Dragos' headset glints, and you wish for a moment you could see his eyes and meet them. Maybe then he would understand. You get up from the desk and Dragos gathers the notes, stuffing them into a pocket of his overalls. He holds the door for you, his headset is expressionless as always. You can stay in the container. It won't take that from you. Don't come back. His tone is final, definite, with an edge of disappointment. You walk out of the office and then out of the yard, not stopping to look back. You leave the yard, thumbing the vial in your pocket, knowing that this, at least, guarantees you a little more time. So if we hadn't managed to get to the doctor, we would have possibly ended up with, really shitty amount of dice, and possibly that vial. As you walk, your mind once again drifts to that person who killed the winter light, and whether or not that person will come for you. So now we got the drive complete. Ooh, and a bloop. Fellow traveller! Hey, it's the publisher. Found a gift from someone like you, hidden away. So we completed the study of the winter light. We should prepare for the worst. Yes, we're still trying to disable our tracker. I don't know where we get. Yeah, so we're fine with that. I mean, we could complete another one by buying a vial. I don't know. Ship mine fragment, scrap component, stabilize that. Okay. So now we have another upgrade point. I'm going to use it to get rid of my engage. Endure -1. Because, yeah. Don't have mushrooms yet. Oh, did the ship come in? Buy ship mine fragments for 60. There is a limited supply. We can only get 2. Oh, haggle over prices. Right. Need predictive reason. So that would give me more. I need a skill upgrade to do that. So I can buy 2 for 120. That would give me enough to get a ship mined. Which I know I need for this. Also for this. I am going to be screwed. +1 engage, so I would need to complete I can't do 2 actions, so I can either buy a vial well, I could use Maliki's online. Actually, no. I could get enough actions to then haggle. Got 2. 2 would get me into that. Got encrypted key. That is not helpful. One or 3. That's not helpful. Data. I got 12 crypto. Okay, so 160. Yeah, he's away for 4 cycles, and my tracker is coming in 2. So, unless I can somehow do something to stop that, I'm screwed. And I really need to end. Ooh, wait, okay, there. Right, okay. So we can input stabilizer. We'll do that the next cycle. Or should we do it now so we have 5 dice? I don't think it makes that much difference. So, what's best to use our final die on? Oh, we don't desperately need. Let's just get a shipmate. So they're out unless we can haggle. But yeah, it's fine. We can now do fabricator. We got ship mine core and plus X, whatever X is. Got an upgrade point. Minecraft. Build a ship mine from fragments. I mean, it never said we needed it to fix the ambergris right now, but we do need it to free Neovend, and we may as well do that before we die. And anything in there gives us anything useful, so Neovend wants me smuggled out of the dock. To do that, you need to provide a full ship mine ready for imprinting. We can possibly use the same one for the ship anyway. It's ready to attempt imprinting. They want you to help. Okay. We have a 4. I don't think we need it. Sleeper must express plan before you begin. Neovend is impatient. The prospect of being free of the vending machine clearly too much to take. Ship mind has own output features. One need mute until slotted. What's the plan? The servo motors in the machine begin to rev. Neovend's anxiety clear. First imprint chip mine, then slot imprinted chip mine into physical ports close to hunter nests. Once slotted, we'll track hunter at each. Tracking will find core nest. Slot chip mine at core nest. Show hunter data to hunter. Hunter will conclude sentience. Hunter will invoke killer. And killer will kill. Yes. The lights on the vending machine cycle as Neovend prepares. Physical ports likely sealed in old station. We'll need keys, but yes, simple. The vending machine rocks a little. Any questions before imprinting? Why slot you physically? I cannot access by a network, too dangerous. Hunter would find immediately. The lights flicker. I'm not like you, hybrid. I'm native to cloud, easy prey. What's the core nest? Hunter keeps central data storage. Protocol must keep data outside self. Link to secondary nests. Can triangulate from there. That's it, let's start. The sound of all the servo motors starting up at once is painful. The screech rattled from the hard surfaces of the sealed dock and come back at all angles. Neovend better be quick or have vanished. Security will be here. Neovend's voice appears among the squeals like a whisper carried by the wind. Machine is not designed for this task. Few sensors, limited inputs. I work blind, wish me luck. In the top part of the component, a set of arms aligned with the ship mind, clunkily scraping aside it. I'm going to go with good luck. The metal creaks as the servos open the ship mind, its layer of silicon nested like an onion skin. Once open, the main arm of the machine rapidly shifts back and forth, realigning the microscopic components, accessing and rewriting them, imprinting Neovend into its physical form. As you watch the hypnotic motion, your mind drifts to your own creation. What processes were used to emulate your mind to copy the neurostructure of that person who, as far as you know, still sleeps in some distant facility? What was lost? In what ways are you a copy of that person, and in what ways are you something new? You know this much. You are a convenient loophole, a way of circumventing the illegality of sentient AI. After all, you are an emulation, not a true digital being. You are neurologically limited. Still human, but what would you become if you could escape this frame? Where, then, would the limits lie? The screeching stops. The machine powers down, dropping the bay into darkness. In the top component, the ship mind is whole again. You reach up and take it down, heavy and cold to the touch. Is Neovend inside this thing, or did the process fail? There's only one way to know. Time to find a nest to slot them into. Tollers, thank you for the bits! I need to end soon. And I got another bloop. I'm getting all the bloops now. I am so addicted to this game. It is ridiculously good. Insert mind. It's the weirdest thing you've ever gotten out of a vending machine. Okay, so... server unit. Do we need dice? We need data. Oh, we need encrypted keys! Oh, excellent. Well, we have a couple of them. Sealed hunter nest. I wonder if there's anything below the gate. Server unit. That's called Atrium. Drone bay. Ah, we're going to need one more key. We have a 4. I don't somehow think that's going to help. Was there another thing we could get? Havenage agent. Yet an agent. Avenues agent. Oh, well, I guess if there's an agent that will give us a key? Can we do anything with a 4? No. Okay. Well, we'll do what we can, I guess. Honestly, it's the only way we can go. I don't know where we can get another encrypted key. I've got a 50-50 die, which we could use. The most we do is 1 towards grounded, and we could help the cycle. Especially if we don't need the thing for anything else. Okay, right. I'm just gonna text my mum. Okay, just let my mum know, because if she rings in like 15 minutes we're not finished, that's annoying. Because I'm just gonna do this bit. I have a feeling I might, if I can get past this hunter thing, that's great. So let's go with encrypted key. So an old Sun and drone base sits behind a maglock. You put your ear to the door and hear an erratic whirring inside. The maglock opens, leaving the door free. You'll be able to investigate the nest now. Okay. Isolated nest. Okay, so in the bay, a whirring drone leans on its side like a beached whale. It must be the nest. Time to find an open port. We're gonna need 3, and I don't know where we get another key from, so... Look, Jessie's online again. We got imprinted chip mine retrieved. Okay. The drone is quiet, its belly full of cables spilled out across the floor. The net is empty. It's one of the nests that once slotted within the Avenge. Right, okay. So we've got one more key. I guess we try repair. Because we don't have any more key. Among the web of cables you find a free port compatible with the ship mind. It's on the event from here. Servers lay silent, the data cache is cleared, nothing to do left at this nest. Okay, but we needed 2 keys to get into the dock. So there's got to be another key somewhere to get into the atrium. We just don't have it. We don't have enough to get across this gate yet either. We don't need food right now. So I think the best route is to try and repair the ship. Yes! +1 ship shape. Okay, next cycle that hull is going to be repaired. We do have upgrade points. We've got 2. We could get agent nodes give double data rewards. That's kind of useful. Not useful now. Or reroll all of your dice once per cycle. Don't think we need. Actually, we should probably just use it and get something. So, icebreaker. Right, I'm gonna do that because we may as well use them in case we lose them. Right. So we got to end the cycle, and then we got to figure out how to get another key. Closer and closer to being hunted. This is really bad. But we got 2 6s, a 5, and a 2. That probably is less helpful. I'm going to leave it on flickering for now. Shipyard may have been useful. Yes. Why did you go missing? I'm so bad. But, right, first of all, let's talk to Ship Lady. Ankita is crouched in the computing core of the ambergris, swearing to herself while you enter. She doesn't look up. These shits completely ruined the core's connectors when they cut it. She holds up a thick fistful of ragged wires. The ship mine they ripped won't even be usable without replacing these. She throws the bundle of wires across the rooms. Amateurs. Who took it? She stands. If I knew, do you think I'd be waiting around in here rather than that there with my boot on their neck? She sighs. Yes, again, some spacer crew. No way to know, but they got in with one of my crew's access chips, so they either killed and robbed him or he's in on it. No good options. Nikita climbs out of the cooling well where the ship mine should be, the space suddenly crowded with her on the same level as you, towering over you as she stoops beneath the low curved ceiling. Come on, nothing to be done here now. She leads you back up through the guts of the amber, though you could find the way back yourself. The repair process has left you familiar with the cutter's idiosyncratic layout, all diagonal angles and bundled tubes. What do we do now? Ankita seems lost in thought, and you focus on the corridors, ducking below, conduits and passing through bulkheads. Eventually you arrive in the galley, though it's hard to tell. Most of the benches and prep surfaces are covered in half-stripped components and welded hull patches. Ankita shoves a box of filters to the floor and sits. There's no way around it. She starts out of nowhere. We need a new ship mind. Where from? Scrap freighter, auto exchange. Hell, find one in the overlooked bathroom. Doesn't matter where, it just matters that we get one. She rubs her forehead. It seems I'm about to do something very stupid, but hey, I came here, didn't I? Why not make a run of it? She fixes you with a hard stare. Sleeper, you've all I've got. No crew, no friends, you're it. She looks uncomfortable. I appreciate the time you put in on the amber, and I'm sure she would too if she could. What I'm saying is if you screw me on this, I will kill you. She leans over and hangs you a stack of chits. A big stack of chits. Don't dare count them. Get me that ship mine, Sleeper. Don't make me regret this. You won't. She sighs. Look, get out of here before I change my mind. You slip out the galley and head back towards the main lock. As you do, Amber growls and creaks like a caged animal. You reach a hand to calm her. Time to find Ankita's ship mine somehow. I mean, technically we have one. It's just got a personality in it. We can't put the imprinted ship mine in, damn it. Okay. We have 149 credits down now, though. It's a little useless because this needs an extra... I need engage. And a 6. We don't have any points. Damn it. Okay. I mean, if we deal with Hunter, then we can totally do it. If we buy a thing, we could get the points. We could haggle. Does haggling get us? Cost plus unlimited supply if we fail, or a fragment discount, but we've already got all the fragments, so we'd have to wait. I don't know if that would give us a fragment. So we have either a Havanage agent. I'm going to go with the Yathkang agent. I can't do that because I don't have the right buy. Damn it. Okay, we're going to have to go with this. Please have a key. Please have a key. Nope, I got data. I got 3 data, but that is not useful. Where do I get the next key from? Balls. So that needs 1 or a 3. Needs a 2 or a 3. How do I get the other core? And I'm going to need to do some food before I end. Do I go into the lower end gate? I'm going to give me crypto. Okay, let's just buy a couple of drinks. At the very least, let's find out behind what's this. And it gives us some energy as well. There we go. That will solve that problem. Okay, so we become a regular. Right. Which gives us... Right, the glass shatters on the steel bar beside you and the taunts don't take long to follow. Hey, Haunt! The spacer calls across the low room. What are you doing here? He laughs at his own lame joke. Playing human? Shout back. You spin back off your stool, scrambling for words. A hand falls on your shoulder, but as you flinch away, it pats reassuringly. You freeze in place. Out! A voice comes from behind you, spat like a shot. You turn to see bright eyes, dark hair, and a stare that could breach the wall and vent your wall into a hard vacuum. Tala! As you turn back to the space of the second glass, comes sailing through the air. Catch it! Ooh! Oops. You reach up a hand and the glass shatters across your forearm, shattering you in fragments. Oops. Through a haze of glass and gyral vapor, you see Tala leap the bar and close the distance to the spacer. The thud as he slams into the wall echoes around the bar like thunder. Now flanked by other figures, quick to their feet, Tala throws the spacer out through the door and stands silhouetted against the rotunda lights. You touch your arm and it feels wet. Someone helps you to your feet and back onto your stool. Broken glass rattles as it's cleared, and a fresh measure of giroli is glugged out in front of you. That same hand, warm, heavy, falls on your shoulder once more. He isn't coming back. We don't tolerate that kind of shit here. Tala flops on the stool beside you. Let's get luckier. Tala wipes the powdered glass from around the wound, and someone places a bottle of alcohol in a metal tin with tweezers on the bar. She disinfects them and turns to you. That was an ambitious catch, she smiles, pulling a sliver of glass from your forearm. Stupid, but ambitious. You don't feel the pain, only the sting of status messages your body delivers concerning dermal damage and exposed structures. You do feel the care, though, as Tala's bright eyes search your thick synthetic skin for splinters. Tala works with the skill of someone who has to pick glass splinters from the skin of stranger before. She hones in on each bright shard all the time, tapping the tweezer tips in little rhythms that only she can follow. Tala smiles to herself. So you've been on the eye long? Long enough. She laughs. You don't need to act tough with me. Splinter clinks into the tin. Not everyone's like that, idiot. We don't all hate you. She glances around. Some of the regulars, maybe they fear you, maybe they're just curious. Don't know, but I do know that the Overlook is a safe place. I know what it's like to be new in this place, trust me. She meets your eye. I'm trying to convince you of anything or separate you from your chits. I just want you to know that if you need somewhere, just come here. All the rations we got are much, and the company is, she leans in, limited. But if you need work, I'll happy to put you behind the bar, and if you need a shelter, we can discuss that. You'll be safe. I usually have Francis on the door, but he's up in the Greenway this cycle, haggling with our supplier. Francis tends to be particular about what we serve, even if the clientele isn't. She places her tweezers in the till with a clink. After you, sleeper. Here. She slides the glass of Giroli to you. This'll help. She stops. Hand still on the glass. Wait, does this help? I mean, can you get drunk? Nope. She laughs. Just a connoisseur. Tala mock winks. I'll let you get back to it then. She walks back around the bar, gathering the glasses as she does. Before long is retelling how she threw that spacer out to a new group that just wandered in, complete with dramatic actions. She gestures in your direction and you instinctively look away, back to the worn surface of the bar. You take a sip of the Girol. The earthy fungal tones fill your senses, almost blocking out sight and sound, like diving headfirst into a bog. You may not be able to get drunk, but this connection to something grown, something fermented, something old feels good. I might take advantage if I can, sleep here. Right. Okay, so I get credits for that. You can still buy rations. I've got 4 energy now. I don't need to get mushrooms, at least. And then if I do enough good service by whatever, then something happens. I mean, I've literally got 1 cycle before I'm dead. So That requires 4 good actions. We only have 3 dice. We need a key and I don't know how to get it. And thing is missing and it pisses me off. And I feel like I should input my stabilizer. May as well. Dam's online again. Okay, so we need to buy another one of them. We've got one more cycle before we get caught. I don't know how to get around that. So we'll do the one thing that we haven't been able to do, and that is go here. Low end, okay, let's see. Aha, there's a keynode. Frick. That's how we get the thing. Balls, we should have unlocked that before. Okay, well we've got just enough time, maybe. Maybe we've got a cycle. I think we had a 2 anyway. No, we had a 2. So we couldn't have got through there anyway. But at least we've unlocked our final data node. That answers that one. Okay. So we've got... Oh, wow. Okay, so we've got a gap. Oh, right. Okay. Right, we haven't got enough to pay for that. That's probably where we get the mushrooms. He said across the gap. The free spoke is a transit HUD. So... we can climb it. Or scale it. Now we can enter it. Which will take energy. Oh, no, it'll take energy if we fail. And that'll take condition if we fail. If we do a good success for both of those, we get +2 on the... Well, we've got a +1 on into it on that left-hand side. So we've got 3 brilliant actions, but that is not... That is just enough to give us a spoke climber. We've also got the residential district. Block maintenance gives us energy. No one knows you're here. You'll need to change that if you want access. Okay, so we can play Tavla. We lose credits and we get a low ender. That requires 4 actions on ++. So we could get 3, but that doesn't help. So we don't have enough dice. If we think we've only got 1 cycle left, we should climb. We should climb. And literally that's all it is. ++. Somehow in the deep of the spoke you come across a thoroughfare lit by work lamps where groups pass back and forth with ease. So we have now ++. So we have midline freight thing. We can steal a shipment. Security does not like us. We get random items for that. I'm going to do the freight operator. We don't have any dice, so obviously we can't do any of this right now, but we'd get some crypto for that. The ascender car. We can ascend to the hub. Okay. And we've got a spoke importer exporter. We can sell a ship mind. We can buy a ship mind. Oh, that's my shopping. Shit! Damn it, it's early. Okay, crap. I've got to end the stream. Love you all. We'll pick up this later. Bye!